as well as we look into the stories in the news, especially here in Ghana, and discuss a story or two there. We'll do this with you. So if there is anything you feel so strongly about, you can share that with WhatsApp on 0500,202, 0500,202, or you can make your way to our socials. We're streaming live on Facebook. Doc, good morning.
Morning, Kwame. Uh, Charlie. It's not easy.
I'm telling you, Charlie. This early morning waking up thing.
Charlie.
Oh, God is good.
God is good. But want to also appreciate him for his mercies. And yeah,
Of
easy,
course,
Kwame.
yeah.
It's never a joke.
Waking up at dawn every day.
Charlie, for the next 365 days.
I'm telling you. But we'll manage.
Exactly.
Doc, what do we have this morning?
Yes, so let's start with the Daily Graphic newspaper. The front page of the paper has some beautiful pictures of some of the regional executives or the regional chairman as elected over the weekend by the NPP. So truth and accuracy every day is the tagline of this paper, Daily Graphic, and the front page, MPP regional elections. Can new guard deliver 2028 victory? That's a question the paper is asking. MTN rewards first batch of winners. That story is on page 3. Page 13, I must say, constitutional reforms referendum to go alongside 2027 assembly elections. President Mahama says so. All right. Deploy new approach to flood management. UG Pro Vice Chancellor says so. That story is on page 13 as well of the Daily Graphic newspaper. So you want to catch a glimpse of that, get your copy, and you will be sorted. The Daily Searchlight is also here, Kwame. And the Daily Searchlight front page has said that drama at Abdul Wahab Edubuahin trials. Godfred refuses invitation to work during vacation as Buahin trial is halted by application to Supreme Court. That's why it's on page 3 and 4 of the paper. Gold Board, the scandal in waiting. Affair marking questions Gold Board losses and challenges commercial strategy. It's also here. Tanker drivers kick off 3-day strike over fuel measurement dispute at Kumasi Bust Depot. That's what's on page 5. Young cocoa farmers demand urgent answers from Mahama before new cocoa season. Okoboy says Greater Accra chairmanship is preparation for a bigger political assignment. That story is on page 7 of the newspaper. I must say the Daily Searchlight. Let's move on to some more papers here. The Daily Analyst is also here. Shaping economic decisions is their tagline. Gold Board makes XRF as a mandatory. That story is on page 3 for gold purity determination from September 1. Currency security. CD long overdue for security refresh. President Mahama says so. CD stages strong recovery as dollar supply improves. It's also on the front page of the paper. Mahama announces rehabilitation of Pualugu tomato factory. And that's a story also over there. National Mining Dialogue 2026 kicks off today. And so that is it for the Business Analyst newspaper. Okay. I have here once again the Investor News Guide, which is also here. The Investor News Guide is also here. Ghana's economy navigates inflation, easing, and structural debt. The full story is on page 11 of the paper. Beyond the counter, Ghana's new digital system is reshaping the taxpayer experience. It's also here. Government defends press freedom as chief of staff says critical journalism are not enemies of the state. It's also here on the front page of the paper. Ghana's downstream oil industry targets regional power, and goes on and on and on and on. Let's see. The New Republic newspaper is here revealing the bloodlines, the AG behind Adamu's downfall. From From extortion to evangelism, Dankwa Sissoho attempts to scrub MPP's filth with a manufactured moral icon. Okay, it's also here. Prophet of peril. Kusi Boateng plays emotional victim card as forensic news tightens. Okay, so it's also here. MPP's ghost appointees flee regional elections as corruption cases pile up. Okay, that's also here. Um, the National Enquirer. Julius Debra defense journalist says they are not government enemies. Mineral Commission opens Daman district office. USU launches fund to keep vulnerable children in school. So this is what we have in the National Enquirer newspaper. Let me do two more, and then the Chronicle newspaper is here. Boachi entry vows. I will restore 5k Ghana cedis per constituency stipend. Okay, that's why it's on page 2 and 3 of the paper. Galamseyers are operating with impunity under Mahama. Another press says so. NDC Youth Wing calls for stronger action against illegal mining. And these are the stories in the Chronicle newspaper. The Ghanaian Times is also here, the most authoritative newspaper. FDA flags chemical ripened plantains. Probes viral video from Medina Market. That's why it's on page 12 of the paper. Comes with a picture of the CEO of the FDA, Dr. Frimpong Boateng Opuni. Incite violence, face the law. Interior Minister warns. That story is on page 12 as well. Capital market players kick against 400,000 SEC levy hike. That's why it's on page 13. 14 arrested over suspected narcotic cultivation at Daliga. Is also here. The NFT is also here. Tax Justice Coalition demands tax exemption regime reform. Joabin Community Bank delivers impressive growth. Bull Run SGSE's mutualization window. The market says so. That's why it's on page 3. And then it goes on and on and on and on. The overseer is also here. Baumia suffers humiliating defeat in 3 regions. I don't know what that means. After forcing government determined to end Ghana's reliance on IMF bailout. That's why it's on page 2. And Okan Minta engages 10 members in colleges at Oti region. And then Ejapa Mesa donate hair dryers to graduating hairdressers in second D. All right, Kwame, go with you.
Okay, Koje, what do you have?
Yeah, so I have the overseer and newspaper. I think Doc has touched a bit of it, but I don't know whether you touch on the statement from the Ghana Police Service.
No.
Okay, so yesterday there was a post that I want to share that post with you before I bring in what the Ghana Police Service has indicated an hour ago. So this is what yesterday a public notice that came out: public safety announcement, no airports or earphones while riding or driving. So the Ghana Police Service says that this news card is fake. It had a Ghana Police Service inscription on that. Now it says that the Ghana Police Service would like to urge the public to disregard the flyer circulating on social media purporting to be a public safety announcement from the service, and claiming, among other things, the use of airports, earphones, and other audio devices while riding or driving is prohibited under the law. The service wishes to clarify that the flyer is not a communication of the Ghana Police Service. The service has neither issued nor authorized the said publication. And our cybercrime unit is working on tracing those behind the false publication. The service, however, wishes to remind motorists and other road users that any activity or device that distracts them or compromises their attention, hearing, control of the vehicle, and awareness of surrounding traffic can pose a serious risk to our road safety. Motorists and riders should therefore endeavor to avoid distractions and exercise maximum care while on the road. The service further urges all motorists, motorcyclists, and other road users to familiarize themselves with and comply fully with the Road Traffic Regulations 2026 LI 2519 and all other applicable road traffic laws. Compliance with these regulations is essential to reducing road crashes and protecting lives. So that's what the Ghana Police Service put out, and I'm wondering why they put out this statement. First of all, if there's a comment that comment under that post which says that. So I'm reading from the Ghana Police Service Facebook page, and somebody commented that what's the difference between what you said and what the person said? Because the communique, the false communique that the police service is telling us to disregard, right? The use of earphones and AirPods. And those of us who connect our phones to the car, to the Bluetooth of the car, right? What the person posted and what the Ghana Police Service, there's no difference. So what should we disregard? Should we disregard the fact that you've not said that earphones and AirPods distract us, or you are telling us to comply fully with the LI 2519? What does the LI 2519 say? Should we use AirPods or we shouldn't use it?
Okay. Yeah, but the fundamental thing is that the
rules are the rules. They have not said that.
Yes.
They have not put out any statements.
Yes, so
but
it has
those
to be
rules
made
still
clear.
apply.
No,
so they just want to make it clear. That's my understanding.
It is not coming from the outfit.
Yes.
It's not coming from the outfit.
It's just like you see a statement.
So
from the
tomorrow
Ghana
when
police
the same person behind this thing puts out something which is ridiculous.
No, so you see, if you disregard this information, clearly it means that what's the content of the alleged false, okay, nice false, the false publication is true.
What is true?
But it's not coming from them.
But
So one's not coming from them. So we should so I'm saying that should we continue using the Bluetooth? Because so even
no, but they didn't say that.
No.
They are saying
the police service says that.
No, your statement you read says that at the tail end of the statement that is coming from the Ghana Police Service,
Not the fake one out there.
Not the fake one. They are saying that, however, after disregarding this, however, they are entreating you to comply to the road traffic regulations.
The LI 2519 is new. So what is the content in the LI 2519?
What is there?
But this was starts when just recently, right?
So it's accessible.
Fine.
Yes.
It's accessible.
And it would say don't do A, B, C, D, E.
But that's.
But why does the person want to do the job of Ghana Police? Uncle, you any more?
You're not getting what I'm saying.
No, I'm getting you, but the point is that they only want you to be aware that there are certain posts or certain information that will come from certain outfits which is not theirs. Stay away from them. It should be sanctioned from them for them to accept that this is coming from our outfit.
The contents of the post, right?
They say disregard the.
So let's look
statement.
at this way. So, for example, you see a flyer with Ghana Police Services saying there, "Thou shalt not steal," and because stealing itself is wrong, because it is coming from another person, and the police is saying this statement is not coming from us, then the police have done something wrong.
I am saying that when I saw the news, the flyer reportedly from the Ghana Police Service, I was like, okay, I mean these are road regulations. I believe it should be parts or should be included or captured in the LI 2519. So I mean it makes sense because the use of earphones and AirPods. Because some people, when the police sees you using your handsets or your phone by your ears and receiving call, they will arrest you. That is the reason why people now connect their phones to the car. So they roll up their glasses. They'll be speaking, thinking that there's somebody in the car, but they're speaking on phone. So is that an offense or not? That is what the alleged or the false information put out. That this is what the police service is saying. Now the police service is saying we should disregard that information that came. So what should we disregard? Should we disregard the fact that the use of earphones and AirPods are wrong? Should we disregard that? Is it saying if you are supposed to disregard it means that what is captured in that content is true? We can continue to use it. So I am of the view that the police service, in telling us to disregard it, should have told us vividly that the use of earphones and AirPods is prohibited as captured in the LI 2519.
Why? We are some. We are
What difference would that have made?
we are
Oh, Kwame. Oh, let's analyze the statement.
No, I'm just asking.
You are
what-
saying that the
it
public
is not
should
coming from
disregard the
me,
false fire.
but
Look at the headline. Police urge public to disregard false flyer on use of airports and earphones while driving.
yes. That is what is on the flyer, and that's what they are seeking to address.
We should disregard that. The flyer says that the Ghana Police Service says, or captured in the flyer says that we should. It's prohibited to use earphones and airports while driving.
Yes.
The police service said we should disregard
Yes.
this content.
No, they said disregard the newsletter or the news card or the postcards, whatever it is. That is purported to be coming from them.
exactly,
That's a simple matter they are putting across, my brother.
it is not coming from me. That's all.
Even though what
But
you are saying
it's
is
true.
right, it's
But
true.
it's not coming from
But it's
us.
not coming from me.
So they should have. That's what I'm saying.
They should have-
They should have captured in the statement.
Why?
Master, the person who designed this, if he wants a job at Ghana Police Service, he should go
That's
there.
what I'm saying. That if you, it's a very good way.
Because no,
Maybe we should recommend him. We have to look for him
you see,
and recommend him to Ghana
the,
Police.
The police have not been proactive.
Say.
Do you know? Because if
Wow.
not for these statements,
We.
people think that the use of airports and Bluetooth connection in cars is right,
People think,
but they've not been educated on the.
but you need to know.
Who told you that?
Oh,
Do you watch the Ghana Police?
I mean,
station,
they are,
TV station. Do
go
you
to
watch
their
it?
social media handle.
Do you watch
They
it?
have a whole
Do you
TV
watch it?
station
You
now
won't share.
where they are broadcasting a lot of these things.
I
So
have
they,
seen.
unless maybe the
Kwame.
communication is not
He
enough.
himself,
As in
he
they-
doesn't remember the last time he watched Ghana Police TV.
Oh,
Do you watch it?
I watch it.
Oh, my.
Channel 363 on DSTV.
No. 363 is not Ghana Police.
Yeah.
It is channel 1.
And then I quit.
Check. Please.
I don't have
those
DSTV.
of you who watch the DSTV and whatever. Channel 363 is channel 1.
I guess that ultimately it's a case of communication on the part of the Ghana Police Service. They may not have as many platforms as you and I may have to tell their story or to share their message.
Yes.
But what I do know is that every now and then
The guy
they
wants to do the
communicate
Ghana
a thing
Police
or
job.
two.
Maybe
Every
we
now and then they communicate
I
a thing or two. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The police should be proactive.
Why?
Because now this gentleman's cooked.
Which gentleman? Do you know the person? The way you are saying, we come from a gentleman.
Okay, well,
You know
this,
him.
this person.
Or you are the one behind it.
Could even be a lady.
This person's cooked false information. It's now informing the Ghana Police Service to even educate us more on the use of airports and earphones.
I disagree with you.
Earphones.
I disagree. You cannot say that for a fact because, like I'm saying, you don't watch Ghana Police TV. You don't watch Channel Crowd Boy. Is on and I'm Channel 1. You don't watch it because me sometimes I spend time to watch. They do a lot of education over there.
But I've said it on this platform before that. I mean, they do a fantastic job.
Why?
When it comes
That's
to
the
education
other.
making. Oh no, but I'm saying.
Chalo, you're suspect. It's like you are the one behind this thing. Won't you?
Okay. I mean, ultimately, they say it's not coming from them. But we
Yes.
also need to know the law.
And I
We
agree.
also need to know the things that are right and the things that are wrong.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That in telling us to disregard this, they should give us more education constantly.
Which they do, to be fair.
Oh, they do. They
Yeah.
do. That one undisputed. But just like they brought out a statement, a communique like this, we should see more of their news cards coming. That this is wrong. Just like what's the man? Alexander Obin went on a different platform to say that even when you are seen having sex in your car, you can go to prison for 5 to 10 years.
Yes.
I'm sure people didn't know about it.
Now you know.
Now you know exactly. Now you know.
Hey.
Because people are people do.
Now you know. I mean, ultimately, now you know.
Right.
Because it's impossible to know
Because when
every single thing.
That news card really went viral. It tells you that people have been sneaking to have sexual encounters in their cars. But because of the statement from the Ghana Police Service, now people will be cautioned that hey, even when you are doing parlon in the car, you can't be arrested. And be jailed for 5
Is
years.
ignorance of the law an excuse for you to say, I don't know this, I don't know this, I
It
don't
is
know
not
this?
an excuse.
Yeah.
But when the police sees you with your phone by your ears, you'll be arrested. That's the reason why people transformed to using the earphones at airports and even the Bluetooth connection to their cars. So I'm saying, if their phones are people are being arrested for using their phones while being caught by the police, if you are using AirPods and earpiece or Bluetooth connection, is that a crime? That should be differentiated so that people who engage in those acts will stop.
Okay.
Because personally,
Would engage the
Exactly. So
PR
this is
units
constant
of the
education that we
organization.
need to
Yeah.
get.
Because like Doc said, I have seen a thing or two. Every now and then on their social media handles, they share a thing or two.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the police TV that much, but I would want to believe that as often as possible, they give a fair bit of education as to whether those messages are able to reach as many people as possible. I guess that's where the challenge would be.
So
you
for
know.
instance, if the police sees you and demand for a license, you're not supposed to hand over your license to the police officer.
I mean, recently I heard the director say, if as long as you recall the license number, you can quote the number, and I think they will check from the system or something like that.
But police officers themselves go contrary to their own laws and still demand for the license.
Yes.
They take the license and they drive away that follow me.
Yeah, I won't give it to you.
But
Yeah, but so if you know.
Yeah.
you
If you
the
know,
law.
you won't. Yeah.
Exactly. So you know. So you will not be intimidated by the police officer. But somebody else would be intimidated by the police officer because for the fear of he following the police officer to the police station to be more humiliated at the police station or whatever, he want to avoid that. So he will hand over his license to the police officer. Meanwhile, the police officers themselves know that this is wrong.
The police is our friend.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
that's what I'm saying. That
But the
I
right
think
thing
what
is
we
to
can
be done.
do every now and then. I mean, we've used our platform every now and then. What's the name of the I think he's an ACP now. The tall man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every now and then we get him here. Every now and then we speak to him
I
on the
agree.
phone. So maybe it should be a general call, not just beyond their platform, because I'm not too sure everybody is consuming content on the Ghana Police TV platform. I'm not aware of they having a radio, but every now and then, if as many of our platforms can give the Ghana Police Service an opportunity to come and share a thing or two every now and then, I think a lot of people will become familiar with
And I'll
some
recommend
knowledge every
that-
now and
I
then.
recommend
Yeah.
that since they have a TV station, they have graphic designers like Ima and other things who do newscasts.
Yes.
So the content of the LI 2519, for instance, we should
Can be shared, yeah.
We should see them every day, so that people can recall of this newscast. Newscast flies very
Yeah.
well. So people can recall the content of the newscast. So you, for instance, so we work from morning to evening. What is the time you will get to watch Ghana Police TV? You won't get the time to watch it. Unless maybe they are doing a critical press conference that as a journalist you want to follow. But hardly would you want to watch some of these content on their platforms. So I am encouraging them, commending them for the good work done so far. But I think that the content of the LI 2519 should be released on a daily basis.
Okay.
So we get to know some of these content.
Which is fair.
I respect the Ghana Police,
yeah.
no choice about it. I love their work. Kudos to IGP, especially fantastic man Alexander Obin. That man has been doing MTT research and training for more than a decade. I've known him since 2014. He's been doing this work for a long time. He doesn't give up, and that's a true police officer. That's one of the police officers that I think that the current IGP should commend or should even award him. But I think that he's doing a fantastic job. Anywhere you call him, this man will be there. So
Okay, can
I'm
we move
urging
on
the
to other
police service
stories?
to do more,
Okay.
than what they are doing.
Yes.
And I saw an article on City Newsroom written by the board chair of DVLA. It says that when the siren becomes a national anthem. Beautiful article written there.
Yeah, we've complained about that for God knows how long.
Exactly.
Nobody seems to be listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I read the article last night, and I think that the National Road Safety Authority, the DVLA, MTTD collectively needs to do more as far as road crashes is concerned.
They're on the roads. They see them. What do they do?
Between last week, Monday, when did the Gorik accident happen? On Tuesday, last week Tuesday or Wednesday?
Thereabouts. Yeah.
Yeah. Between that time and today, on a daily basis, we record accidents on our road. Yesterday, for instance, I'm told that where the Bishop of the Bayard Junction, the church there, between the church there and Kwashiman.
Aoshi Junction.
Yes,
Victory.
between Aoshi, Victory and Kwashiman. I'm told that there was a serious crash there. I think about 5 cars, bumper to bumper, like that.
Because of what?
I don't know. It was crazy. I'm told
What
that
could have caused it?
I don't know.
The traffic light wasn't working.
It's working. I know it's working. So within a week, we recorded more than almost 10 crashes, and I think that in people's quest to go to work early, people quest to the people who are not authorized to use sirens are using it. They want to maneuver their way early and dodge traffic. These people can cause accidents together with Okada riders. Because at the point that you feel that the car before you is not moving, so you want to move on to the right side, by the time you show an indicator, there's an Okada on the other side. If you don't take care, you will crash it. And so I think that policymakers, I love the article. I recommend that the road institutions would take a cue from the article. Then we can improve on our road safety measures. That because in a year, I'm told that between this first quarter, the crashes is almost 1,000, and that is a very worrying one. And I think that the Ghana Police, the MTTD, for instance, can do more when it comes to these things. Let me take you to page. I saw a story here: ending child trafficking more than rescue efforts. This is a beautiful article written by Tete Pupulampu. It says that at 6 years old, Wisdom Tete Dotumo did not understand what trafficking meant. So he's urging the international. It's a very long article. He's urging the gender ministry to do more when it comes to child trafficking. The Ghana Police, which I know that the CID, for instance, has been doing very, very well when it comes to child trafficking, arresting the people behind child trafficking and all that. So page 3 of the Overseer newspaper, NPP elections, Bawumia suffers humiliating defeats in 3 regions. That's a very, for me, very diabolic headline. Of course, yesterday we talked about Chairman Kuka, who people believe that he's on the opposite side of the coin in terms of the NPP internal elections. So Dr. Mahmoud Bamia's attempt to consolidate his influence over the organizational structures of the new patriotic party has suffered a major setback following a defeat of candidates associated with his camp in 3 of the party's most politically significant regions. The results of the NPP's regional executive election held on Saturday, August 15, 2026 indicate that while Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia secured the party's presidential nomination earlier this year, his victory has not translated into control of the party's regional machinery. In Greater Accra, Eastern, and Ashanti, candidates perceived to be favored by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia failed to secure the regional chairmanship.
Greater Accra is part.
They talked about.
That's what Dr. Koboy was
Dr.
one of Baumia's, Well, that's my opinion. Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Coco, I
maybe
don't
they picked
know.
an intel
But
that he's likely to. But of course, he's already a flag bearer.
there's a thing for me. I mean, the fact that these individuals may have aligned with other, let's even say that happened, aligned with other, presidential aspirants at the time. That election is long done.
Yeah.
I mean, people have moved on. And what you try to do is that even when there are people who are supposedly not in your camp, once that is over, you try to get everyone on side. Yeah. So, for example, in the last 24 hours, I've seen Coca go to the house of, what's the name of this man again? Kokofu. Go, hold some talks here and there. That's about him himself. I recall when he lost, visited almost all of them, if I recall. So it's not possible that everybody may necessarily be on side. Some people may have been with other camps, but once it's done, you move on as a political party. But anyway,
so that's it. It's here on that's on page 3 of the Overseer newspaper. Maybe Doc will have to come in with other stories.
Well, yes. I see a lot of stories on Galamsey and
there's this one in the Archives newspaper profiling the facts. Angry youth arrest chief over Galamsey. Charlie, it's Galamsey.
The youth have arrested the chief.
I tell you, sure, we didn't come here to play. So, resident and youth of Tanoso, I must say, in the Tano North municipality of the Ahafo region, have arrested the Ankobiahene of the Tanoso traditional area, Nana Amwako Ata, over alleged involvement in illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, near the River Tano. And River Tano has been in the news. I saw some. Charlie,
I saw a video yesterday. It was terrible. I mean, it was like terrible, and I was like, I mean, these are the rivers that we studied in primary school social studies. River Tano, River Ofing, River Dinsu, River Pra, River this, Ankubra, this, da. Of course, in those days, I mean, Galamsey was not a conversation. Today, when you look at pictures of these videos, you're wondering whether, with the greatest of respect, there is anybody there.
Charlie. So the story goes on to say that the youth claimed Nana Mwakwa Atta asserted ownership of the materials when confronted. He was subsequently handed over to the police for investigation. Speaking to a press conference in Tanoso on Monday, youth leader Abdul Razak Idris said residents had for some time suspected the chief of involvement in illegal mining but lacked evidence to substantiate that their claims. He said arrests had provided what the youth considered concrete evidence and marked a significant development in their campaign against Galamsey in the area. And this is a quote from Idris. He says, "This arrest marks a major milestone in our local fight against illegal mining, which has polluted our iconic Tano River beyond recognition." According to him, residents initially believed the traditional leader was confiscating mining materials from illegal miners, but subsequent development allegedly suggested otherwise. So, Kwame, that is it. We say kudos to the youth.
Of course.
You see, I've told you that this Galamsey fight, it should be localized. Oh. I've always said this on this table. That if we don't localize the fight against Galamsey, because it is the people in these localities who can best go after these people.
Not those in Accra speaking English.
There be. So I'm asking myself, this Tano River, Galamsey, whatever, where are the blue gas?
Blue water gas.
Blue water gas was where are they?
I wish I knew.
After spending money to train, I think the first batch of about
we had 2 badges. So,
yes.
The first one was about 450. Then subsequently, I remember when Kabore was here, I posed that question to him. I think they've done a series of training and a series of recruitments. Yeah. I don't know the exact number as we speak, but
they have about
over the years, they are recruiting. Sorry, over the months, they recruited a decent number. Now, this is my thing. If you recall, last week when this thing about what NIMOS had done in the 6 regions came up, they said that they run, a program, whatever it is, from July 27th to the 2nd of August. And in that period, in the 6 regions that were reported, they seized this, they seized vehicles, guns, excavators, and all of that. And then one of the things that they said, which I found really interesting, is the point that Doc has made, that people are now not just mining along these major rivers, they are now mining in the river itself. Now, emphasis on major, not minor, emphasis on major. I would want to believe that quite a number of these blue water guards would have been deployed to these major rivers. So how is it that these Galamseyers go to these areas? They are mining, they are not hiding, they are doing it openly. And the blue water guards are not there. Or even if they are there and they don't have the accoutrement to fight these guys or to deal with these guys, they don't report to a superior person or a superior organization to deal with the threats. I can't seem to understand.
I mean, you recall that,
Charlie,
and you see, I'm glad that Doc has brought the conversation about blue water guards. We sat on this table, and I said that I don't see the essence of the creation of the blue water guards. Personally, I was
on the back of what is happening. I don't know.
And I'm glad that Doc is now approaching my bench.
Which one is your bench?
That I made it clear on this table that I don't see the essence of the creation of the blue water guard. Maybe it's a job for the boys thing. Because look, if you're asking for the blue water guard, yesterday President Mahama said that we're adding up some military to be in the forest. What has been the report from NIMOS? And this is the former NIMOS commander, what's his name? Boa. Was reassigned. Let me put it that way. Let me not say he was sacked.
And we know what the party people are saying about him being reassigned anyway.
So he's been reassigned. When he was reassigned, what was the report left? What is the current state of our Galamsey on the path or on the table of NIMOS? The new NIMOS boss, what is the roadmap I'm not aware that he's spoken ever since he was given that appointment.
I don't care if he's not speaking, but
No,
if the job is being done, that's the most important thing.
But Ghanaians are stakeholders in the fight against Galamsey, and therefore we need to see the roadmap in the fight against Galamsey. Yesterday, somebody asked a question during 505 that what is the essence of the deployment of the military, because NIMOS is full of military personnel, right? And they are stationed in the bush. So if we are adding up, President Mahama
You are
admitted,
beefing up.
President Mahama admitted that it's going to cost the nation. So
The Galamsey is not costing the nation.
in terms of feeding, transporting them,
Yeah, that's what I'm
wanna-
saying. But the Galamsey is not costing the
It is
nation.
huge. But if we are adding up, what has been assessment of NIMOS? What has been assessment of Blue Water Guard? What has been the assessment of the what is it, Comsdale or Comsdale, whatever thing they call it?
The Responsible Cooperative Mining Program. Yeah.
What has been the impact and assessment so far? Because it looks like we are creating a lot of branches in the fight against Galamsey. Meanwhile, the kingpins who are causing the destruction and the ailments to our health. Yesterday there was an article that I read that old people are now battling with kidney disease, not because of what they eat or not because of failing to do exercise or whatever, but it's because of the impact of Galamsey.
But this one, we have discussed this since 2023 or so on this
between
platform.
40 and 70 years. All those within that age bracket are getting kidney, liver problems because of Galamsey. It will come down, and I'm sure it is coming down, or it has already come down to those of us between 20 and 40. So let's not just create branches within the fight against Galamsey, but let's deal with the kingpins. President Mahama
Is there a fight?
For now, we can say it's a fight.
Oh.
Because one, there are measures. But look, President Mahama admitted months ago that he wished that we don't just arrest the people who are doing the local fuel in the Galamsey, but arrest the kingpins. Who are the kingpins? Do we know them? And that is why I take serious in what...
Who is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces?
We have a commander-in-chief.
No, who is the commander?
The commander-in-chief, that's the president.
Okay. Is there any force anywhere in this country that is stronger, more equipped to fight this than our military? Is there any force anywhere?
Never. That's what I'm saying.
That is why we're told when the current administration were in opposition by leading members of the party that this thing can be stopped in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks if we want. I don't know the exact number of the Ghana Armed Forces. At this point, we are not involved in any war.
Yeah.
So that we'll say that our officers are so busy. The Navy is there. They are Tema, they are in Takrade. The Air Force people too, they are in Accra and they are in Tamale. You honestly think that with the numbers that we have in those services, if we deploy the Navy to manage our water bodies, if we deploy the Army, that individual in that bush in Kobriso, in Manson Kwanta area, you can fight them. You can't.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you take, if you do the assessments, and instead of, let's say, taking 20 military men, you take 2 because people are doing affairs in the bush, you are just tickling yourself and laughing, and that is what we are doing.
That's what I'm saying. That what was the purpose of the creation of NIMOS? If we are to do assessments, the number of months, or I'm sure it's less than a year, that is being in office, beautiful office. But what has
the office?
But what has been the impact of NIMOS? Because if the Minister for Land and Natural Resources admitted months ago that they reclaimed about 3 to 9 red zones, and the illegal miners recaptured it.
I don't get it.
And then later, the military recaptured it again. Then what is this? I catch you.
How are these Galamseyers with whatever accoutrements that they have? You tell us that you've been able to get these forests back.
Yeah.
Only on 27th of July, NIMOS is telling us that in that week where they visited all of these 6 regions, they met these Galamseyers in the forest you say you have captured.
Exactly.
I've grown needy.
So, Charlie, it's just that. It's just that.
Charlie.
Some people are just playing with us, but this
I'm
thing,
appalled.
unfortunately, it's been politicized.
I'm
So
appalled.
when you scream,
Kwame.
it looks like you are bashing somebody, but it's not about bashing somebody. Me, sitting in Accra, who told you you are safe?
Kwame.
Uni Banchi.
Kwame.
You don't eat plantain. Where is it coming from? Is it not coming from the same 6 regions?
The impact
Kwame.
is-
That is where the
that's what
bread
we-
basket is. So you sit in
Yeah.
Accra, you think you are fine. Who told you are fine?
Kwame.
Ah.
Let me. My comment would be a piece written by I Am Nayaz.
Who is he?
He's one of these great guys. He writes really well about happenings in this country.
Okay.
That is what my commentary on this matter would be. And after reading this one, I'm sure everybody will get to understand where
Sure,
I'm coming
shoot.
from.
We are listening.
He says, I keep wondering why the 19 cabinet ministers, the vice president, ministers of state, deputy ministers, MMDCs, and numerous CEOs of state institutions cannot collectively help the president develop a decisive, coordinated, and sustainable strategy to end galamsey.
A lot of them are
For
sleeping.
some of us, no amount of government achievement will mean much until we see a serious and lasting end to illegal mining. Our forests are being destroyed. Our rivers and water bodies are being polluted. And the consequences will be felt by generations yet unborn. We must also remember that this menace has already come to a painful cost to our nation. We have lost senior government officials and other brave Ghanaians in the course of confronting illegal mining, yet the menace continues. How much more must we lose before we finally take decisive action? He goes on to say, Mr. President, you have a historic opportunity to confront this menace once and for all. You have the opportunity, you have the authority, institutions, human resources, and national machinery at your disposal. What is needed now is stronger coordination, political courage, enforcement, and a clear sense of agency. Let every minister, MMDC, CEO, and relevant state institution take responsibility and contribute meaningful to this national fight. We cannot continue to hold meetings and issue statements while our forests disappear and our water bodies become increasingly unsafe. Mr. President, please bring all the relevant stakeholders together. Demand results, close the loopholes that enable illegal mining, and ensure that those who destroy our natural resources face the full force of the law regardless of who they are or who they know. For some of us, this is bigger than politics. It is about Ghana. We will live for our children and grandchildren. Mr. President, this is your opportunity to make history. Save our forests, protect our water bodies, end galamsey, and leave a name.
Amen.
I am Nayas.
Amen.
Kwame, I share total. I don't know how to. I don't know even know how to describe it. I am in sync with this gentleman.
And now the Galamsey has hit the president's home region, Savannah.
And in Boli, we beg him.
It's just a gentle reminder.
We beg him. Is he a dear? Hey! No. Kwame, it's a no.
Everybody knows that we are not fighting anything.
Yes, and we are pretending.
We have, I don't know the number of conferences that have been held, the number of meetings that may have been held. How can anybody in all conscience tell me that when I get to Konongo, between Gaso and Konongo, there's a town called Yaokwe. I don't know whether it's a town or a village. Yaokwe. Just on that stretch, you would see that somebody, when you are doing something illegal, you mount some of these aluminium, whatever it is called. And people are doing their mining by the roadside, live and colored. All the videos that Erastus has been sharing on his social media platforms, including the one he shared about Mansu Kobiriso only yesterday. The lady who said she went to this school in the eastern region, and behind the girls' dormitory, the thing was happening live. You are traveling to Kumasi, you get to Enyinem, the water, what's the name of the Birim River,
Oh.
It is more than cocoa drink.
Oh.
Go to the Osino area. You went to your place after 30 years. You posted on your Facebook platform. Behind the Christ Apostolic Church, at Pedra area there, a course of life, and it's not far from the roadside. That area, it doesn't have an assemblyman. It doesn't have an MC or a DC. There is a district police commander there. There's an MP. There's probably an MC there, depending on the size of the community. There's a regional minister. All of them say they have not seen it. Oh dear, bro.
It's a serious matter, Kwame. I hope that we'll get there.
Galamsey is not like you are hiding in a corner. Oh. Look, you are using excavators, you are using chamfine machines. They are doing it live. The photo Erasmus posted yesterday, they were doing it live on Dauphin. Dauphin is a big river. And people say they have not seen it. The authorities say they've not. It's on to them.
Kwame, let me bring you last story for me. The business mail. Apiati redevelopment begins next month. Kwame, how many years now?
Charlie.
Hey, awesome.
You don't get tired of some of these things.
It comes in a photograph of the deputy
It's not the
minister
place
for
where
land
there was an explosion
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, like how many years?
2-3 years, I think.
More than.
Okay. I 2-3 years maybe. They've now found some money to develop the place.
So 2022.
So that's like 4 years now.
Yeah.
So what? They've now found some money, or what?
Government has announced that construction of the third and final phase of the Apiati redevelopment project will commence by mid-September 2026, paving the way for the resettlement of the remaining 69 households affected by the 2022 explosion. Deputy Minister for Land and Natural Resources, Honorable Dr. Alhaji Yusuf Suleimana, announced last week. Government has announced the construction of the third and final phase of the project, paving way for the resettlement. Oh, why have they repeated this thing? Deputy Minister for Land and Natural Resources announced on Tuesday, August 11, during the inauguration of the local implementation committee for phase 3 of the project at Bogoso in the Pristia Huni Valley municipality of the Western region. The newly inaugurated local implementation committee will serve as a bridge between beneficiaries and the community and government during implementation of the projects. Among other responsibilities, the committee will facilitate the participation of affected residents in decision making, promote transparent information sharing, support oversight of redevelopment activities, and help identify to resolve grievances arising during the implementation. So, Kwame.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Kwame, let me do I think there's quite National Cathedral Chop audit report sparks panic. Former board secretary cries, jail me. And so it comes with
The
a
report
picture
is
of.
ready.
Oh yes, and as we've been hearing from the grapevine, people have already they started inviting people. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
So that's why some people are talking.
yes. So a forensic report by PricewaterhouseCoopers into the controversial National Cathedral project is reportedly causing unease among some individuals linked to the project following the submission of the report at the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayeni. The report, which was presented to Dr. Ayeni on Friday, August 7, is said to contain significant findings on the expenditure and management of funds committed to the National Cathedral project. Although the full report has not yet been made public, I must say, the Attorney General has raised concerns about the scale of expenditure on the project, suggesting that funds could have been used to complete some stored hospitals under the Agenda 111 program. The development comes amid renewed calls for some religious leaders for the government to revive or complete the National Cathedral project. Speaking at the district launch of the free primary health care program in the Bolga East constituency during the President Mahama's resetting Ghana tour of the Upper East region, Dr. Ayeni questioned the manner in which the project was conceived and executed. So the story goes on and on and on and on. And I have the report. You don't build a house of God in the manner in which they went about it, he stated. And this is coming from Dr. Ayeni. Now, the quote as attributed to Reverend Victor Kusi Boateng, "Imprison me," quote, is here, and it says, but former secretary to the board of trustees of the National Cathedral, Reverend Victor Kusi Boateng, even before his name could be mentioned, has declared that he is prepared to go to prison rather than conceal his relationship with former vice president and NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. In a video circulating on social media, Reverend Kusi Boateng defended his friendship with Dr. Bawumia and his wife Hajia Samira Bawumia, insisting that he could not distance himself from them because of criticisms. If for this reason, and this is a quote, if for this reason anybody wants to imprison me, go ahead, he said. He recalled having served a previous prison term, saying he was not afraid of returning to prison. Prison is not for animals, it is for human beings. I have been there, I didn't die, I came back, he added, unquote. Reverend Kusi Boateng insisted that his friendship with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was not a crime and that he could not hide the relationship to satisfy his critics. I don't care whoever thinks about it. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is my friend and will continue to be my friend. I will not hide. I am not a hypocrite, he said, unquote. So, Kwame, this is it. And I'm told this comment came during a wedding reception or a wedding
One of his daughters
ceremony.
got married.
His daughter's
Yeah,
wedding.
got married.
And I cringed, Kwame. At an occasion like that.
In this country,
So what are you trying to cut?
Since when did becoming a friend to someone become a problem?
To tell
Like becoming a problem of someone made you a candidate for jail. Like
yes. When you were entrusted,
help me understand.
no, particularly when you were entrusted with state funds, then your conversation to
If
us,
the money was private money, I don't care.
of course,
You are dealing with state funds. You. And if the thing has been mismanaged or whatever term you want to use, we are investigating.
Yes.
It. You want to play, what's the word? You want to play victim.
emotion. What kind?
You. If not for anything at all, but the mere fact that you have 2 dates of birth alone. And no cry anymore. You see, sometimes it's if you're a Christian like myself, it's
You mean 2 names?
as for the 2 names, right? It's not really my headache because
Okay.
all of us have. I mean, if you're an account like myself, you probably have 5, 6, 7 names. So let's
No,
say today,
but Kwame, it is not correct. That
you can have
You can have all the names, you don't get.
documentation
One is
wise.
documented.
Of course.
Yes,
but
yes.
you
So
can't
that's
have it on 2 official
so I
documents
was
of the
getting there.
state.
I was getting there.
Uh.
So for example, I have about 6 or 7 names. I only use 3 officially.
Hey, I see.
The rest I don't put it on any
Hey,
on
sir.
any documents.
Kwame Boningina, your listeners will be interested.
You let's go with Kwame Dwomoh-Agyemang like that. That is what is on every single document of mine. I don't have any other name on any other document. The rest, it's family people who would see you and call you by those names and all of that. You decided to put the names on different documents. Okay, assuming it's even all your name, but they had 2 different dates of
Yes.
birth. Osofu. Who are 2 dates of birth? How is that possible? That one alone is a red flag.
Yes.
And
And
then
you
all
get
of these
what
things
I'm
that you
going
have done, the fact that you're a man of God doesn't mean that if you are using state funds, it cannot be investigated. You are first and foremost a Ghanaian. Your software or your profession is another conversation altogether. Nobody has said that if you are friends with Kofi and Johnson,
Hey.
it is problematic.
Serious.
You are dealing with state funds, and we know whatever we want to know about this thing. So if you have been involved and yours is to play victim, that by virtue of your association with Dr. Bawumia, that is why you are being hounded. Has Dr. Bawumia been hounded?
Imagine.
Has he done galamsey
The
to be
person-
hounded?
yes, of course.
Or has he invested in the, or has he misused our money? Or
He
has
was
he signed a
even-
check?
In fact,
or
he
anything?
was even the chairman for the economic management team of this state. He's not been called anywhere to come and answer questions of finances or what have you.
Your family benefited from governmental rules and positions. You yourself got contracts. Your wife was board chairman or on the boards of some state-run agencies or something like that. So if something has gone wrong there and is being investigated, condemn.
Hey, Kwame. No, but what I don't understand is that
And gullible people
I know that-
will be listening to sermons like this and will be running with it and they will be defending this.
Kwame, my problem is even my problem. Like I'm just looking at even the grounds, the environment to which he even came up to say some of these things.
Is that the platform to be passing this message?
No,
let's even assume Dr. Bawumia and some, because I saw Apostle Onyina and others at the program.
Yes.
Oh, it's an honor for me that all of you have joined me to celebrate my your daughter's wedding. That is the platform you choose to make a statement like that.
But the point is that what I even want to find out, has he even been invited to come and answer questions about anything?
I don't care.
Or just because he said that the report is ready?
I don't care. There is time for everything. Your daughter's wedding. That is the place where you would want to make a speech like this. Your daughter's wedding. He and I, we are from the same place. And there is no way under the sun where my sister or my niece or my daughter or something will be getting married. And that is the platform I'll use to make comments like that. It won't happen. See. So what? Because you are a man of God, you are untouchable. Some of our men of God have sadly arrogated themselves to a certain point where the moment you go after, hey, don't touch my anointed.
Touch my anointed and do my prophet.
Nobody is touching anybody. We are only talking about your actions. If you're a man of God and you go and rape, we can't talk about it. Or if you're a man of God and you go and steal, we can't talk about it. Is that what we are saying now? I found the comments very disappointing.
Very.
When I got to know that it was the daughter's wedding, because I saw photos of he and the daughter earlier in the day.
Okay.
Then I saw that as part of the program he made those comments. So for one made you
Uncle, this one did. The occasion was not right. And even the substance of what he's even putting out. And the question, it begs the question, that's what I'm asking.
Are you the one to tell us that in the prison it is dogs that are there? We ask him.
Kwame, I know.
No, is he the one to tell us that in the prison it is dogs that are there?
We also for we beg you. This one dear. And crack. And it shouldn't be, you see, it shouldn't be, the conversation shouldn't be that because I have a relationship with a certain former vice president.
After you.
I mean,
there are the number of people who have a relationship with Dr. Bawumia. Can we count it? Has anybody said because of his relationship with Dr. Bawumia that is why he or she is being hounded? Hey, then the people that I know, including a brother who is listening to me right now,
but why is Miracle also not making this comment? Because he's even worked closely.
Closely people work closely with Dr. Bawumia.
They are carrying their own cross. Million. It is their problem.
If you've not done anything, what is your problem? If you've not done anything, what is your problem?
Uncle, cry.
Like my auntie say, also for me, my main cousin here.
Kwame, let me do the final one here. We in NDC decided who won MPP's Ashanti regional polls, and this is coming from the regional minister. Amwako Hini claims this is what they always do. She say, Kofwa Kwasala to Omaba. You are saying you determined. So this is a story by Sandra Agudu, and it says that the Ashanti Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amakuhene has made a striking claim about last weekend's new patriotic party Ashanti Regional Executive elections, that the results were effectively engineered by him and his party, the NDC. In a video posted on social media after the declaration of results, Dr. Amakuhene said the winning candidates were our actual candidate, asserting that the NDC, through its own quiet backing, has shaped the outcome of an internal election held by its main rival party. He went further describing the incoming leadership team as an Amakuhene executive, and warning that he and his allies would remain active on the ground regardless of who officially runs the NPP's regional structures. We are here and we are taking the lead on the platform, he said, adding that his camp was in the street waiting for them. All right, so it goes on and on and on. I mean, ostensibly, I'm sure this is what these two political parties do. I'm sure when the NDC also kicks off, when the NDC also begins theirs, we come and hear statement like we have determined.
You know, one of the things that I heard from
Hey, Radhe.
our brother who hosts a political program on is it Movement or to Meet TV? I forgot his name.
What's
He
it?
hosts this political program.
Yeah,
There.
yeah, yeah.
He said, I think when the NDC won, I think the election or so in 20, as part of the things that suggest that Coca is an or has is connected or has friends or is an NDC person. Said when the NDC won the elections in 2024 or so, they chose to go and celebrate at Coca's pub.
Like that's a private.
They say he has an event center in Kumasi somewhere.
yes.
Said that's where the NDC went to
Yes,
celebrate.
I'm told
But
most-
if Coca himself was not an NDC person, how the NDC come and celebrate at his events?
Yes, I'm told that there are a lot of some key events of the NDC that is
I
held
held
there.
at Coca's place.
Yes.
It's business strategy.
Of all the places in Kumasi that they could go and
I
do
tell
their
you.
programs,
I
they
tell
went
you.
to Coca's.
I tell you, this one. but anyway, I have so we'll see how it goes.
I'm
Kwame.
telling
We'll see
you.
how it goes for them in that regard, and then we'll check it out from there.
Anyway, let me just quickly run some stories on the Class of M online portal, and maybe we'll take it from there and celebrate some people as well. Ghana Russia signed first visa waiver agreement since 1958. Russia and the school. Russia there. The cold crowd killers. Boss tanker drivers reached deal to suspend 3-day strike. That's good news. Gold board is a very big scandal awaiting us. Apenyo Markin says so. And yesterday I saw that Sami Jemfi replied. Top Zambian opposition figures arrested days after presidential votes. Was it? Doc, Hichilema has been declared winner. Than an African incumbent who was a lead 3 days after the election. You think the lead will be overturned? What the cry? Yesterday he was declared a winner.
Hey, you conduct elections on Thursday,
And
the result,
as at Sunday, the incumbent was
leading.
Yes.
and you want him to lose on a Monday.
Yes, he
Hey,
is.
Juma. Hey, African.
Yesterday he was declared a winner. Kokofu pledges support as newly elected Ashanti Regional Chair Kuka visits. That's here. This guy, he's been writing about our brother Razak Kojopoku, PhD. He says now we should add PhD to his name. Because he's a qualified PhD holder.
I tell you.
Razak Kojopoku defends Archbishop Duncan Williams' gold board prayer, rejects claims of partisan bias. Hey, Papa too has been talking this week. He said some people came to see him.
I see.
Some Arab sheikhs and things. I said, hey, Kroma, they must you. FDA identifies, hey, so this thing is true. Ethimax in plantain ripening investigation. Hey, because what should we eat now?
It's a serious matter. Last 2 weeks, I bought plantain. What was it? A drone, right? There's a bunch of plantain, right? I bought it ordinarily. It would take like 3-4 days. It gets ripe. I mean, as we speak, the plantain is still there. And bring back we see grab. So I don't. Interestingly, when I was buying the plantain, the woman said something. So when I saw the stereo from FDA, I was like, okay. I connected what the woman said. She said, "Open a brain them," and I said, "Be chance and brain."
What does that mean?
I don't know. So I didn't get it. You know, market women, they have their own terms, so I didn't get it. Then I said, "Oh, me go back busy then." Because they said, "Boy, they be abre." As we speak, boy, they name rare. So it brought my mind back to what the man said. So it means that they use some chemicals to
You bought it in Accra.
Yeah, at Malam Market where I do my food stuff shopping every Friday.
And this one was at Medina.
This one was Medina.
Medina Market.
And yesterday I was monitoring a platform. There was analysis. The host and his guest says that they spoken with a lot of traders, and they admit that not just plantain, tomatoes.
The tomatoes, I hear they spray them.
Garden eggs. She talks about garden eggs. She talks about
And cocoa. The
Oh,
palm oil.
the palm oil there is a generational thing. We've
No,
been,
they mix it with all kinds of things.
yeah, I mean it's dangerous.
So what should we eat?
I mean it's dangerous. But interestingly, the food that you are even you think that it is very green in the village is also affected by galamsey.
Chai
And the ones that comes from the village to Accra,
has also been chemicalized.
chemicalized.
Case die.
If
Case die. The water you want to drink too has been polluted.
I mean, but I think that FDA has a lot of work to do when it comes to these things. But of course, you can't even. I don't know whether they have the equipment to test whether every products, vegetables or fruits is being chemicalized, and how would they even do that? Do they have the strength, the staff strength, to go to all markets at the same time at a particular period
And arrest some people.
and arrest some people? I don't
So
know
you
how-
go unannounced. You don't have to announce these things. You go
I
unannounced.
mean, it's serious.
And then when your products are tested like on the spot, if it can give results in a few minutes, we'll just carry you and your food. We'll go and
serious.
throw you into prison or something like that. Hey, I mean, why? That's all we can say. Mahama announces referendum on constitutional amendments alongside 2027 district assemblies. Okay, it's been a while. I saw a referendum in Ghana. Yeah, it's been a very long
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
The recent one was on something be forgotten what the
Charlie,
issue was.
assemblyman elections cries now MPP NDC. So me, this district assembly elections, I don't see how it will be different. Yendi firefighters travel 61k to contain fire at Gushigu Training College. Why they don't have one there? Police arrest 70-year-old man, 13 others over alleged cultivation, distribution of narcotics in the Upper East region. And Minerals Commission commissions Daman District Office to strengthen decentralized mining regulation. It's not the commissioning of the office, it's their job. Okay, there are other stories in the world of business, showbiz, and entertainment. So make your way to the Class FM online portal and get to read extensively on the stories. Okay, let me say a big thank you to Doc and KOG and celebrate some people before I come your way with a piece of my mind.
Happy birthday to my very good and long-time friend, Frederick Opoku, popularly known as Kojoku Skoli. He's currently in Germany. He's listening to us. You know, in 2012, when I when I produced my TV series titled High School Fever, he was a director.
But you suffer before.
He was a director.
You've done everything, sir.
The guy who worked with NLA. With Ofake. Yeah. He was a cast in High School Fever.
Oh, okay.
And Veronica Comroxin, the new presenter who's coming on CTV. You know, last week they introduced one lady, fair lady. Yeah, she was also part of that series.
And you left all that to come and do this.
It's called High School Fever.
This is 12
Those
Live.
days it was shown
And this is
on
505.
You know GH1 before GH1 TV became GH1. No, is it Ghana One? GH1 had a name before it became GH1. That was the time they were showing the High School Fever.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes. So currently he was the director of that TV series.
You've been big man before.
So you were the producer.
Yeah. And in fact, I acted in that series.
So where is it?
In fact, even the flyer, we even used. This one was even Bishop Bernard Nyanko, the man who died in Kumasi. At that time, he had not, he was not popular at that time. 2012, we used Bishop Bernard Nyanko, and then we used Vivian Jail also at that time. But Vivian
was
Jail-
it P?
No, it was English. Yeah, it was English. But they played minor roles like cameo. You know, in movies say cameo
Yeah.
like of film.
Yeah, guest pass.
Like a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 2012. And he was the director of that TV series called Kojoku
You
Skoli.
should be directing movies at Hollywood
so-
and Bollywood and things.
Career is a sign.
In the bed, this is 12 Live. This is 12 Live.
Ask Doc
really
why
know.
he left Gollywood and he's sitting doing review.
Doc metamorphosed into a traveling agent.
Why?
He managed savings and loans.
And was managing ships and
later managed
imports
savings and
at
loans.
Temat.
And finally,
then moved to savings and loans.
finally he will land in politics.
I'm telling you.
Ananjanante.
Yeah.
The Pablo baby. AJJ na.
You've not seen Doc's photos in the colors of
With the
One
Ghana.
of the other political parties.
Wow.
Eh, I'm running to.
That's BNA, but yeah, not English. Yeah, my
Yeah.
2028.
Wow.
We are coming live.
It's got
Eddie Abreu.
Eddie.
Eddie, 2028. We are coming live and call it. We won't mention the party.
Yes, but
Stay
people.
tuned.
But we will not do the things that are happening
Yeah, you won't do Jandam.
in some Gomoa areas and all that.
Wow.
Kwame,
Wow.
it is getting out of hand. Somebody
haven't
needs
mentioned
to.
Gomoa here this
No,
morning.
please.
Why?
But I'm also not mentioning it. I'm saying that somebody
have mentioned
needs
the other
to bring some
constituency. Why
sanity,
Gomoa?
sanity into their body politics.
Uh-huh.
Kwame, it's getting out of hand, though. What we are saying that you people don't want to recognize, it's getting out of hand.
What is happening in Gomoa? Tell us.
How dare you sit on? Then you say a sitting deputy minister
Of
and a
energy.
sitting MP.
Uh-huh.
Then you refer to him as Oyemakwala. Like,
So maybe 30 years ago. No,
and that when the man came to school, you were the one. When he was being homoed or beaten, you were the one that takes care of him and all that.
Those are
Like,
life
Why the
stories.
deputy minister also went to APAM?
yes.
I know Smart went to APAM.
Yes.
Those are life
He said he
stories.
was a school prefect.
Oh, but it's a normal
It's just
thing.
like those days when I was taking.
Is that
care-
a conversation to put on the table for people to vote for you?
Oh, those are passing comments. Oh, doc. Men fan
Oh, no. But the comment suggests that he wants to ridicule
Those
No,
are passing
it is
comments.
no,
MP.
no.
I don't know the context. Or
It
in
is not
which he said
context.
that,
It
but-
was not context.
This was my boy in school. I mean, it's normal.
No, but
Who is your boy?
In a serious
Those days, 30 years ago, this was my boy in school.
Please, let's elevate the political discussion to more serious this thing. Not these ones. Seriously, I am appalled by some of the things that are happening around the Gomoa area. How is it that you throw some of these things and it's like your opponent is not throwing these things at you, but you are the one throwing at the opponent like and nothing. Please.
But it's not going on the ticket of NDC.
So we hear.
Doc, there's a message for you.
What is
Let
it?
me read this one. This one they are reading. Kwame, I think Doc has contracted gomoalitis, right?
What's his name? Give me his name.
I'll give you his name.
Give me his name.
My Prosper in Dowinya.
Hey,
So,
Prosper,
Kwame,
my
I think
brother.
Doc has contracted
Prosper.
gomoalitis.
Let us meet in Gomoa and Akwambo this weekend. I'll be there.
Are you doing a combo?
Yeah, the Gomoa land is having Akwambo. In fact, it started from late July coming into August. It continues out to September ending
Are
and
you
stuff.
the one you use the boats?
No.
You
The
are
Akwambo
coming-
there is a festival.
What is
That's Fetu Official what you are talking about.
that one? Is
And that's-
Yeah, let's keep close. That's for the.
and
It's
there's one too at Elmina. That's the one they use the boats.
Yeah, Domina, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Akwambo, what's like the standout thing you guys do?
Oh, it's a normal festival.
Eating and chilling.
What?
Just like
These
the-
days, I see
think
a
just
lot
like
of festivals have become eating and chilling.
Oh,
But a traditional rice they perform.
Yes.
Like the one in Winneba, what's the
hey,
The one they do the acrobatics.
Abuachiri thing.
yeah, the watches thing. I mean, apart from the fun, the cultural rights also is being performed.
Yes.
Just like every
So
festival.
this weekend is my village, Gomoa Dunkwa.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Gomoa
Oh, so
Dunkwa.
you do it in tents.
Yes, of course he's been invited. The DC has been invited. The MP has been
You
invited.
come and crawl and blow whistle.
But he said he's part of the Asafo team of his
It's
hometown.
all allowed. It's all allowed.
No, but
It's just like I
my
was seeing
point
the
is that
photos of what's the name of this man again? Osahin during Abuachiri.
yes.
Charlie, you have to see Osahin doing Abuachiri.
Yeah. I mean, it's serious. I mean, my point is that I don't mind whether you want to contest or you don't want to contest. That's not my problem. But let's elevate the conversation. You understand? Let's do more. And for somebody who, hey, please. So Prosper, let's meet. I mean, if you advise your candidate, to be certain on what exactly he wants to, what impact he wants to make on Gomoa land, and not to go that tangent he wants to go. Charlie.
Yeah. On that note, we draw the curtains on the newspaper review of the show. We'll probably go into thousand two zero two 202. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook as well. Give us a comment, give us a like, give us a share, and you can also give us a watch on this platform. This is Class 91.3 FM, and thus is A Piece of My Mind, which is a segment of the show where I share my thoughts on a subject or more and also give you an opportunity for you to do same. Remember, you can reach us via multiple ways. Our WhatsApp number remains same, 0500,000 202. Alternatively, you can reach us on our socials, Class 91.3 on Facebook and Class 91.3 on X. And then, of course, when the phone lines are activated, you can always give us a call. The numbers to call is 0302 208080 0302 208080. Please take note of the call number so that when the phone lines are activated, you can always give us that call, and we would appreciate that going forward. 0500,000 202 0500,000 202. This morning, before I get into all that I have to say for a piece of my mind, I want you to have a listen to these comments from His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama on issues to do with Galamsey.
Very hard. We've seized excavators, we've seized champagne machines, and you drive them out of this area, they run to this other area. But we're making progress. Of the almost 49 forest reserves that were invaded, we've been able to clear as many of them as possible of illegal miners. Before, what we did was when we clear, we hand over to the Forestry Services Commission. But they don't fear the Forest Service. They go and drive the forest guards out, and they go back into the mine. And so now we put a military detachment. After we clear the forest reserve, we leave a military detachment there. And that means we have to spend more money. One, you must feed the soldiers. You must provide them with the logistics to continue to stay there in the forest. But we will not give up. We'll continue the fight against illegal mining. But Upper East has a good potential, and mining can create jobs, but we need to make sure that these are formalized mines so that they can employ our young people to operate.
That was His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama speaking in the north, or as part of a 2 or 3 day tour, I'm told, to the Upper East region. There were a number of key things that President Mahama said there, and I'm sure for those of you who pay attention to the news space, you'd have been following all of these conversations yesterday. The president talks about responsible mining and the fact that we have minerals in the soil, or God has blessed us with the minerals, doesn't mean that we should do it the wrong way. The most important thing is that mining is legal, can be done legally, and can be done the right way. That I am sure a lot of people would agree, that mining can be done the right way. I mean, since I was a child, I've heard of mining being done in the right way in so many parts of this country. I've heard of Obuasi, I heard of Konongo years ago, I heard of Odan years ago, I heard of so many other parts of this country, Akwetia and all of these places where a bit of mining was done in one way or the other. Your Excellency, Mr. President, our challenge at this point, which you clearly make mention of, the fact that it appears that we are struggling to deal with it, and that if we're putting the military there, that would come at a cost. Mr. President, with the greatest of respect, I would disagree with you on that tangent. One life is more important than the investment we would make in fighting Galamsey. If we look at it that way, we would spare no expense in dealing with the Galamsey fight. With the greatest of respect, Mr. President, the military are there for a reason. The Navy are there for a reason. The Air Force are there for a reason. There is nobody, absolutely nobody, or no group in this country where if all of these three forces come together to deal with the threat of Galamsey, there is no one in this country who can stand their might. If the military step out there on the orders of the CDS to these Galamsey-infested areas and they are allowed to do their jobs without any political interference, trust me, this can be done in 1 week, like some of your appointees said when you were in opposition. If the Navy officials who are supposed to man our water bodies are sent to their spaces, and it's not just a case of manning, they have equipment to deal with that as well. If they end up being the people who are directly responsible for manning our water bodies, Mr. President, I don't know of any group that can manage them. If our Air Force, with whatever materials that are made available, whether it's planes proper or whether it is planes, helicopters or whatever that they would use in that fight, there is no one who can deal with their threats. There's no one who can face them. Absolutely no one or no group of people. I was thinking that we would rather look at this situation as something that is causing a lot more harm, and that as a country, we would spare no expense. We would spare absolutely no expense in dealing with it. If the worry is about, taking a lot of military people there and it's going to come at a cost and all of that, then we might as well not do anything, because everything that we are doing is coming at a cost. Everything that we're doing as far as this fighting this Galamsey thing is happening is coming at a cost. We are dying, Your Excellency. People are contracting all kinds of ailments. Now look at this scenario. We've committed a lot of money to Mahama Care to deal with all of these communicable diseases. Those monies would end up being used to deal with all of these people who are contracting this liver and kidney problems. But you know what we could have done with that money? We could have used that money to build schools. We could have used that money to build the roads. We could have used that money to provide portable drinking water. There are people in Accra who have not seen water in 1 year. Good morning to my people at Lejukuku and Krowo and so many other parts of Accra who do not have access to portable drinking water. The doctors are telling us that people are being born with all kinds of ailments, and we are worried about spending money to deal with the threat, or we are worried about putting the military there to go and deal with that threat. So we should allow the Galamseyers to do whatever they want. They should pollute our rivers. They should contaminate our food. How do we live with eating contaminated food and water? How? Mr. President, respectfully, I disagree. We can fight this if we want. If we are worried about sparing an expense because of maybe exporting the gold and making some money, let's look at the opportunity cost of all of that. So we export the money. If we export the gold, we make money. The money is supposed to be used for developments so that you and I can get good schools, have access to good hospitals, and have access to portable drinking water and all of that. So what if all of us are dead? Because we are drinking contaminated water and we are eating food that has been infested with all kinds of chemicals. Who would come and use the road? Who will come and use the schools? Who will come and use the hospitals? The ones that we are fighting to do, who will come and use them? It is the human beings, and the human beings are dying. We are dying. Our generations are dying. The kids are being born with all kinds of ailments. One nose, one eye. In another couple of years, we would all go. And those who would come after us, our children, our grandchildren, they will be living with all of these illnesses. Is that what we want? We want the money. Our lives are also important, Your Excellency. We want the money, but our lives are also very important, Your Excellency. We cannot, under no circumstance, should money be considered over human life. Under no circumstance whatsoever should money be considered over human life. Elsewhere, when they have a problem, they spare no expense in dealing with the problem. They fight it head on. They deal with it. How do we have a situation where we are paying thousands of blue water guards? We are spending a lot of money to reclaim our forest. And yet, when you go to these same places, the Galamseyers have taken over. Are we not spending money? So what will be wrong with getting the military there? Are we not spending money in paying the thousands of blue water guards that we have trained every month? Are we not spending money on IMOS and the activities every single day? It is clearly not giving us the results we want, because we cannot recapture a forest. And NIMOS is telling us, on the evidence of what they did from 27th of July to the 2nd of August, that in these same forests that we have reclaimed, the Galamseyers are there. We are not supposed to be mining 100 meters close to a river. Now they are mining in the river. Mr. President, you have appointees there. You have DCs there. You have MCs there. You appoint the IGP. The IGP would appoint the regional police commander and the district police commanders. Most of them are sleeping on their jobs. A lot of the MCs in these Galamsey infested areas, they are sleeping on their jobs. If we want change, we can cause a change. If we want to sleep, let's sleep. And let's pretend to be fighting it. Let's pretend. Because on the evidence of what we are seeing, it's almost impossible for anyone to convince me that we are fighting Galamsey. On the evidence of what we are seeing, let me use myself. I won't say we. On the evidence of what I have seen, traveling around, moving around. If anybody tells me that we are fighting Galamsey, I laugh. And like I mentioned to you yesterday, I had a conversation with my friend in Western North. I said, Kwame, had the Akoso live and colored. Morning, afternoon, evening, nights. Pastors are now even involved. I am quoting him directly. The man of God who mounts a pulpit to preach to you is now involved in Galamsey. The MPs are involved. Ministers are involved. Politicians are involved. Can we give the military the free hand and CDS and his people will deal with this in 1 week? Not the ones who go and collect coins. Not those ones. The proper ones. They will deal with this in no time. If they are given the opportunity. And if they are given the free hand. Mr. President, we don't want to lose a generation. When you build a school, it is human beings who would attend. If the human beings are dying, nobody will be in the school. If you build the hospitals and the human beings are dead, nobody would go to that hospital. Good morning. I'll pick a few calls, so if you call, make it snappy so that others can get in. 0302 208080, 0302 208080, or you can reach me on WhatsApp platform on 0302 208080. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning.
Class 91.3 FM.
Oh, I lost this caller. 0302 208080. Hello, good morning.
Kwame, good morning.
Good morning. Is this
My
Paul?
name is Paul from Dorina, yes.
Yeah, Paul, go ahead.
Kwame, this morning, I don't want to miss words at all. Kwame, I think that our politicians are just taking us for a jolly ride. They care less about us. They think they will just come promise one thing, and then when they come to office, they will do another thing. Kwame, this is very appalling. Kwame, just this weekend, I was in Kumasi. When you reach Konongo, at the station, just at your left side, when you are coming to Accra, I mean, the whole place, just at the roadside, they are there digging. And this, everybody can see, chiefs, police, everybody can see with their own naked eyes. And yet, they will do nothing about it. I mean, how greedy are we? We are so greedy, we want to grab everything at the expense of nature. Oh, good morning.
Good morning. My brother Paul would always say it as it is. 0302 208080. Hello, good morning.
Hello, yeah.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Morning, this is Seth.
Seth, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Kwame. You see, if we are talking about the Galamsey, that issue, it is like it become a problem. And then anytime the president give instruction for there, they will rise up and do a little. And before you realize, no, they sleep on it. For my suggestion is that, like all the district chief executive, all the district, when the illegal mining is going there, they have to call all together. They call them together and they instruct them to do it. And then the president can use his eye to watch a lot of things. So the one who is failing, and then he will sanction him. When he sanction him like that, you will know that, yes, the president is watching. But if nothing is going on like that, that is why a lot of people who already want to help to fight the cause also will sit down and be watching that the president is not doing anything.
Thank you very much. 0302 208080. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, a friend, a brother. How are you?
Eben, go ahead.
Yeah. You see, I also know this yet. You see, but for me, I will blame the chief in the mining areas, likewise blame the citizens in mining areas. Because see, even if government is not even doing anything to help you, the first thing we need to ask ourselves, what are the chiefs also doing? And those living there, How long will you follow greedy bastards to destroy our lands, our waters, water bodies? Then
Class
we still
91.3 FM.
sit aloof and allow them. Mr. President, Honorable Minister of what? Lands Commission. From the way things are going, I think it's high time you people declare the state of emergency. If possible, shoot and kill. Because Kwame, you can't sit down and allow some greedy bastards to ruin our future. Not all of us can be buying water. Even as I'm saying, Kwame, I can tell you, water in this country is even expensive than even fuel. Because a day, as they are saying, you need to take 8 glasses of water. And you ask yourself, how sachet water is everything is even expensive? Making things difficult for Ghana water. So, Mr. President, you have a mandate to protect. You are in your legacy year.
Class
So we should
91.3
not
FM.
allow greedy bastards to destroy our future.
Okay, Eben, I appreciate you. 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
Hello, my big brother. This is Michael from Kutubari.
Mike, go ahead.
Thank you. God bless you. I can see your anger, feel your anger this morning. No, you see, Ghanaians are not serious at all because of party. These two parties, NDC and NPP. You see what they are doing to us. Assuming that you are in PNDC time, Kwame, nobody wants to go to that era anymore. But you'll be calling for that. You understand? If you're advocating for that, assuming that you are in PNDC time era, we'll be discussing this. Assuming that the late president, Jerry John Rawlings, have give a command. Nobody should see every single person in the forest which will abide by that.
It shall be well. 0302208080. We'll take a few more calls and then we'll start the conversations at exactly 8:30. Our guests are already seated in the studio, so look out for that. 8:30 exactly, we're going to be starting the conversation. So we'll take a few more calls and then we'll wrap up the segment of the show. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Randy from Medina.
Randy, go ahead.
Why is that we are pretending that we don't know what is happening? Me, this girl, I'm saying, issue anytime you are talking about it, I wish you can use that time to play music. Do you know why? When
Tell me.
It's opened, and then you see clearly that armed robbers are coming. What's the first thing you do? You lock your gate, then call the Ghana police, right? We have a thief there that is most like I don't know, but when it comes to power, you have control over your land. Are we saying that when the 2-4 say, from today, I don't want to see anybody do galamsey on my land, people will still go there? Why are we pretending? This man is living big in the sense of others, and we are saying we are fighting. I bet you, no government will solve galamsey in this Ghana. No government. Let the 2-4 step down for 1 minute, galamsey will stop. I'm telling you, to mark it somewhere. Let us just try. Oh, please stop wasting your time. Play music. Why?
I hear you, Randy. I can feel your anger and your disappointment. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Kwame. Please, Mr. Kwame, my name is Eddie. I'm right here in Community 19.
Eddie, go ahead.
I think that my thought this morning, the final solution to galamsey is that they should arrest all the galanseyers. They are not having the licenses, please, and bring them to Sawam so that the place will be safe, the environment will be safe. I heard my brothers and sisters saying they should shoot and kill. Please, shoot and kill will not solve the problem in Galamsey right now. A lot of people have gone down the drain because of Galamsey. We shouldn't lose more lives. All the Galanseyers must be brought to in Sawam immediately. I think that will be the final solution. Thank you very much for this opportunity given me.
Thank you very much. 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Anan, go.
And I tell you, I'm saying, Nibraba, if you had the other kitchen. That's Kwame. I think I need your bike to see time. The person meant to ask you to say, you know, done again, say, a sanctuary reading per se, so 2-4 Candidia, a founder, and I'm a boy.
Annie.
And see, Galamsey, a question, some politicians, I'm putting on call or Hinwa, or Hin catch you almost a woman share Galamsey in Wasamanka. You can't then on here, on country, call for no man for say, woman Galamsey. And if you say, Master, open a mess on Mamma to be about Galamsey.
Mate, thank you very much. We'll take maybe just two more calls and then we'll wrap up. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Andy is calling from Lakeside.
Andy, go ahead.
There's a caller before this very one. Those calls should not discourage you. If we attempt doing that, will mean we have our hands in despair. We'll continue to talk about Galamsey and we'll find always. I mean, how can rational human beings destroy their nation just to make money into their pocket? I mean, God is watching and He will help us to fight Galamsey. Thank you very much for your effort.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Maybe I'll take a final caller, one final caller, so that I get to read all your messages that have come in. You can send your message. As for your messages, you can send it all the way to 10 0302 208080 0302 208080, or you can find us on our social media handles on we're streaming live on Facebook, Class 913. If you send us those messages, I would read them. Okay, so let me read your messages quickly before we start the conversation. Good morning, Kwame. You remember what I said yesterday? Of course, mommy, I do. You see, our chiefs who distill sub-chiefs over sale of Sulans should step up to the plate and join the fight against Galamsey. I agree with you, mommy. Thank you very much. Auntie Abba says, good morning, Kwame. Well said. Now you have appealed directly with Mr. President, and I know he listens. As he cannot be everywhere, he has employed people to do the job, so he should crack the whip on all the people involved. Galamsey should be dealt with without any mercy. The president should stop dealing with offenders with kid gloves, because people are dying and certain foods cannot be eaten anymore. Immediate action must be taken. I can imagine Mr. Akwogu not being able to eat kinky. How would he survive? A typical Gama, he can't eat kinky. In fish. So what would he eat? Anyway, this one says, President Mahama, please be decisive on this Galamsey issues. What is the use of decorated, smart-looking soldiers parading in their well-polished boots on the streets? JDM shouldn't joke with us, the Ghanaian voter. If he continues, we shall see. What a cow. You send us from Tema. Okay, so this one says, upon all these so-called achievements, why can't the president just declare a state of emergency to claim all the forests within 3 months? What at all is preventing His Excellency from doing that? Okay, I don't know what is preventing him. Maybe the information available to him suggests otherwise. Okay, keep your messages coming on WhatsApp number 0500,000 202 0500,000 202. Okay, this one says, good morning. Okay. Sometimes. Machine. Hi, Kwame. Is it all about the money or the cash from the Galamsey value chain? You know what? I have been telling you, until we ask the military to deal with the Galamsey activities in our forest, nothing will change. Because when people stop taking coins to build 2 or 3 bedroom house and live in their family, they'll watch over it to get their cash. Okay, Francis, I wish I could get the import. Okay, good morning, Kwame. I like the question this morning that you posed as to who is the commander of the Ghana Armed Forces, or who's the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. I've said, and I will continue to say, that JM and the current NDC are beginning to fail some of us, the staunch members of the party. The Army, Navy, etc. What are they doing in the barracks when lives of Ghanaians are seriously at risk? Galamsey is more than an external aggression now. So what is the president waiting for? Also, the lookouts in the communities where Galamsey is happening can help greatly in winning the fight. Thumb up to the youth who stood against the chief. The chief, government appointees, and those in Accra speaking big English are neck deep in Galamsey. That's why we don't see us making any headway. Okay? Keep your messages coming on WhatsApp number 0500,000 202 0500,000 202. Thus is Class 91.3 FM. I have Mr. Alexander Koku, who visits us every Tuesday when he can. He's a former NDC parliamentary candidate for Botiano English and Manfrum, and he's also tried Kaikui South, my base for many years before I moved to Dominic Kwabinya. Maybe one day he'll keep trying and then he'll win. That is if he's interested in it at some point. I also do have Ishak Awudu, who is Director of Communications for the PNC. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Great. Mr. Kwako, let me start with you on this. I know this Galamsey thing was not part of the topics that was given to you yesterday, but after we sent you the topics, His Excellency spoke in the north. He's been going on a tour there, and the comments he made has generated a whole lot of conversations. He talks about the fact that putting the army or the military in the forest would come at a cost. He talks about the fact that the ministry is doing well despite all the results that we see, and he says we should applaud the team who is fighting all of this to encourage them to do more. But it appears that so many disagree with the comments of His Excellency, or have a contrary opinion, if I can say that, to the comments of His Excellency. Because we're all here when only last 2 weeks, NIMOS released their statements that from the 27th of July to the 2nd of August, they were in 6 of the 16 regions, the areas that are notably known for Galamsey. Now, in their statements, and NIMOS is a functioning government agency, they tell us that they are still seizing excavators. They are seizing vehicles, pump action guns. They are even what's even scared a lot of people is that NIMOS said the forests that had been reclaimed, these Galamseyers were there. The major rivers that we have been told that you cannot mine 100 meters to the river, they arrested Galamseyers there. So if 1 week later His Excellency is saying this, is it a case of someone probably giving him a wrong report, or what is happening? You are in government. What is happening? It's like we are not seeing Topo.
Let me take the opportunity to greet all our listeners this morning, and also to extend the same greetings to my brother over here, and to yourself.
Thank you.
You see, the fight against Galamsey is a national disaster issue.
Dr. If you could speak up a bit for me, yeah.
We need to take it as such and be
Class 91.3
very
FM.
ruthless with anybody who is involved in the process. As a nation, some of us have said that the fight against Galamsey should not be seen as a fight for any government or any political party or for an individual. No, it's a collective fight. And all of us must come on board to make sure that we eliminate or we reduce it to the barest minimum. You know, wherever there is money, no matter the security you put in place, people will always find a way of getting to where the money is. And you know, gold is money. Once you have gold, it will turn your fortunes around. And that is the main reason why the security presence is not even helping in climbing down on this Galamsey menace that we have. Because they themselves, they get there and they are compromised. Government officials are compromised. I've had reports that says that even some MMDCs are also involved. They've been compromised. So it is something as a nation we should first sit down and do the cost benefits analysis. I'm saying this because if we destroy our water bodies, we destroy the soil, we destroy our forests, we pollute the air
Class
that we
91.3
breathe in
FM.
on daily basis. These things, when you destroy them, it means that you have destroyed your future. Because without water, if you don't drink water, first with air, for instance, if you don't breathe in for some few minutes, you go. You understand me? Water, if you don't drink water the whole day, with some few days, maybe 2-3 days, you go. You die. If you don't eat for a number of days, you will die. And these are things that Galamsey is targeting. So why do we treat them with kid groups? When we can, as a nation, go on them with a strong hand. You know, when we're in opposition,
Class 91.3
Honorable
FM.
Joe White said something. I mean, a lot of us, came on him heavily because we felt like that statement he was making was way out, because he said that they should be, they should shoot and kill. You know, some of us, but I think I'm trying to believe in that philosophy now. Yes, I am inclined to believe in that philosophy now. Because I believe that if you want to kill me, why should I stand there for you to kill me when I can defend myself? So if defending myself also results in killing you, have I committed any wrong? So be it. Because these are people, because of money, they don't care what happens to all of us. Whether the water we are drinking is contaminated with heavy metals, they don't care. Whether children are born without nose, without ears, with some impairment on their limbs and all those things, they don't care about those things. All that they care is that they are making money. And why should we sit down as a nation and allow these people to be killing us, destroying the future of our young ones? We shouldn't be. We shouldn't be at all. So, me, where I am now, if the government cannot do it, then who else again can do it? If the government cannot do it, who else can do it? You know, and some of these things, if we do the cost-benefit analysis, it will tell you that it is good for us to spend even all our resources that we have to protect these natural resources for our future. Because if we allow them to destroy it today, tomorrow, do you and I, do we have the money to import water to drink? Do we have the money to import water to cook our food? Do we have the money to import water to take our bath? These are questions that we need to ask ourselves. So if we don't have, then it means that the little we have today, we should commit all in the fight against Galamsey and eliminate it completely. Nobody is saying that we shouldn't mine in this country. No. But we should mine responsibly. And once you are doing Galamsey and you don't have any law backing you, you don't report to any authority, and you are doing things anyhow, definitely we can't allow you to continue your activities. And the big man behind, I'm expecting like by now we should be able to track even just one, and give him a serious punishment to serve as a deterrent to others. Because, yes, that's why I'm saying that some of them, okay, I'm sure they know. The Naimos will know. Because some names have come up in the past. Why can't we investigate those names? Why can't we name and shame? Because they are creating problem for us, all of us. And it is hard time that we also make it a point that if you get yourself into a Galamsey activities, okay, you pay a high price for it. And let me add this to it. You see, the MMDCs, I think in areas where we have Galamsey as a major problem, can't we add it to their KPIs? Yes, it should be. It should be something that we can add to their KPIs and give them timelines to comply. If not, you sack the person. Another person comes in. If he's not able, you sack that person too. I think we should begin to attach that kind of seriousness. Because if we are there and we have chiefs all over Ghana, at times, even if you are doing your own household, you are doing something small, you want to do some small, the chiefs will send their people to come. I don't know how they get the information. But when it comes to Galamsey, that one, they don't have the information. So let's get the chiefs involved also in the fight.
1.3 FM.
So if you are a chief, we said nobody should be involved in Galamsey. If you are a chief and we caught a Galamseyer on your land, you will also be brought in. Because if we don't do it that way, then it's like a government can issue instructions. It gets to the chief, they do something else. It gets to the MDCs, they also do different things. So at the end of the day, it will be like we are fighting against the air. We can't achieve any results. So to me, these are the key. We should get the chiefs involved. One of your colleagues made a very important point this morning that we all know Ashanti Ini, the power he has. When he speaks, people listen, even not only his subjects.
Class 91.3
He's the only king in our time, present time. I have seen him distooling other chiefs in his jurisdiction. You understand me? Such a king has got a lot of power. Can't he make that announcement? And you remember, under President Nana Akufo-Addo, there was a forum in
Kumasi.
Mm-hmm.
And he made that very powerful speech.
He knows the people.
Those of you in the room.
Said he knows those in the room who are involved in the Galamsey. What happened? So I believe strongly that it is hard time that some of these chiefs should get involved. They should speak out to their people. If Otufo should come and say that he's banning Galamsey in the whole of Ashanti region, can you imagine the effects that will have on this fight against Galamsey? If Ochini should get up and say that he's banning Galamsey activities in all of his jurisdiction, can you imagine the effect that it will have on the fight against Galamsey? So we need those people, and I think that where we've gotten to, yes, His Excellency is complaining of the money that we are pushing into it. And if you are pushing money and you are not getting the results, it means that we have to sit back and look at the method that we are using again and make sure that we make some changes to those methods and apply new ones, because you can't be doing the old things and be expecting that
you get different results.
So let's look at it. Let's get the chiefs involved. Let's call them. Let's sit them down. Let's talk to them of the effects that this thing is having on all of us. I'm sure when we do such a thing, it will go a long way. If not to eliminate it, maybe it will bring it down drastically to a level that we can all handle.
If I were to take you back to that NIMOS, story that was released by the organization just last week, they say that the operation focused on was between the 27th of July to the 2nd of August 2026, and they mentioned the regions: Western North, Western, Ashanti, Ahafo. Now they've got into Savannah and Eastern regions. Now, according to NIMOS, the intelligence-led operations targeted illegal mining activities along major rivers, forest reserves, reclaimed mining sites, and others identified as a hotspot. Emphasis on along major rivers, forest reserves, including the ones they have reclaimed, though, and other identified spots. Because you mentioned the things about traditional authority and local governance with respect to the MMDCs. In these 6 regions, they would have undertaken these operations in specific places. So, for example, if you take, let's say, Western North, they would have undertaken the operation in a specific area. There's an assemblyman there. There's an MC or DC there. There's a police commander, whether it's regional, district, whatever roles they have. There's an MP there. That's what the MP is by election. So the president cannot kick the person out. The president appoints the IGP, who in turn appoints the district police commander or the regional police commander. So the MC can be fired, that specific area, for failing to do his job. The police commander can be fired for failing to do his job. There are 6 regions that have been mentioned. Are the people who are running the government spaces in whatever way or form, Naim was the minister, are they telling us that they don't know these particular places? And if those people there are not performing, there's nothing we can do about it.
There's so much we can do about it. And I think that I've already stated some of the things that we can do. It's only a matter of enforcement to make sure that, everybody is playing his role as assigned to him by law. So if you look at from the analysis that we are doing, we have police commanders. Even at the region, we have a commander. You come to the districts, we have a commander. You come to the division, there's a commander to there. Then when you go to the local area, okay, we have commanders, the stations, you have commanders there. So if you look at the police hierarchy, it goes down to the last person, and all of them are commanders. So if, let's say, Galamsey is taking place in this cantonment area, cantonment has got a police station. You understand? You have a commander there. Is the commander telling us that he or she is not able to scout around and pick intelligence and know where those Galamseyers are? We should be serious. And if he is not doing it, you the one supervising that station commander, what are you also doing? So if we said we will sack, and maybe it will get to the IGP, because he is the one in charge of all of them. So it is a serious issue, and I don't know why Ghanaians, we are that selfish. Because some of them have been compromised in one way or the other, they turn the blind eye, and we all suffer. Forgetting that if we are looking at it, oh, you and your family, that is your wife and your children, you are okay. So you think that because of what you have received, you are okay. What of your extended family? You don't care about them? And these are things that we should get people who are serious. And I always say that, government, your main objective is to make Ghanaians secure. Either food-wise, water, anything that you can think of, road network, everything. It's all for our security. Because if the roads are good and I'm traveling on it safe, I will get to wherever I'm going safely. I will not be involved in any accident if I'm not overspeeding. You understand me? So it's all about whatever we are doing is to make sure that the Ghanaians are secure and they are safe. So if Galamsey is making the lives of Ghanaians unsafe, then we should deal with it. Because the way we are doing the things, as if we want to fight, we don't want to fight. We should stop these things. So we should stop it. And let's fight it and let's get rid of it. We shouldn't allow few people. I have always told you that I don't care if you are my party person. Because when I joined the NDC, we didn't say that we are coming to do Galamsey to make money.
Class
We promised Ghanaians that
91.3
they will give
FM.
them development. And we said that is our goal. We said development is our goal. I don't think Galamsey is part of the development we promised Ghanaians. So I, in particular, will not support any party member who is involved in it. And I think the government or the president should take that hard stand and make sure. Because I always say, if wrong things are being done and my brother is involved and people saw that I'm punishing my brother the way I have to punish, do you think that an outsider would dare to come in? He would not try. Because he knows that if I can meted out that kind of punishment to my own brother, then his case will be worse. And that is the way we should rather go about it. Let's look within those who are involved and let's punish them hard. Then those who are not with us, when they hear of it, they will sit up.
Okay. Let me get my brother Ishak Audu, who is General Secretary of the PNC, into the conversation. Audu, we are here. And now it's in our face. If I were to go back to that same NIMOS report that was released last week, and again I'm quoting them, during the reporting period, operations were concentrated along the Ankobra, Bia, Toya, Tano, and Butri rivers in the forest and riverine areas, including Enchi, and at the reclaimed mining sites in the Desri Forest Reserve, the Birim River, and the Tepagoso districts. The operations, and I'm quoting them again, resulted in the seizure of excavators. These same excavators that they are seizing every day. They are so seizing. Vehicles, motorbikes, water pumps, generators, mining machines, and other equipment linked to illegal mining. Ishak, what's going on?
Thank you, Kwame. A very good morning to our cherished listeners, and a very good morning to my co-panelists and your good self. We cannot belabor the point in as far as Galamsey is concerned. I think that the consequential effects of illegal mining can be felt by all of us. And it is sad that it has reached a proportion where it dominates our national discourse. Because if we don't sit up, we will laugh at the wrong sides of our mouths one day. But it is important for us to admit that the fight against Galamsey should not be viewed as an event. It's not an episode. It should be a process that we would have to keep going on until we reach the destination we ought to reach, until we rid our country of Galamsey. But from where I sit, I think that the combat approach alone to fighting Galamsey, as it were, may not bring out the results we want to see. Because like you indicated, we have seen excavators being seized in the past. Plenty excavators were brought to Accra. Some of them were bent. Some of them were demobilized or immobilized. And to the extent that it even became a whole conversation again about some 500 missing excavators. And yet still, even about 2-3 years down the line, under a new administration, we are still talking about 9 months seizing such equipment as excavators. So that tells us that we are dealing with a very complicated issue. Because like my brother indicated, if you look at the Galamsey players, they see a means of survival. Well, they think that at all costs they must survive. And the means by which they would survive is through Galamsey. And in the past, we saw attempts at offering some alternatives to most of these people involved in the galamsey, so that, as it were, we may get them out of the galamsey site and the forest and the galamsey pits. But the problem has always been that these people by themselves cannot do the kind of galamsey that is causing the havoc that we are talking about. They are what we call the kingpins. These are people who are recruited. Their activities are being facilitated by people who sit behind. And these are people who have the wherewithal. They are endowed with cash. And these are the people who go around, apart from facilitating the process for these people to bring them the gold, the returns, for them to give them peanuts. There are the people who also go around bribing and compromising the leaders, those who are supposed to lead in the charge against galamsey. Talk about the security services, talk about our traditional authorities, talk about our politicians, and all of that. So it is important that we, as it were, take the fight against galamsey beyond just arresting the people at the sites. Like I keep saying, they by themselves cannot do the kind of galamsey that is being done with the use of such sophisticated equipment. How many of those people we catch at the galamsey site can buy an excavator tie? How many of them? They cannot. So clearly, it should tell us that there are people behind who are facilitating the process. And so that is where the issue of identifying, doing serious investigations and identifying the campaigns and taking the fight to these campaigns should be the only way by which we can achieve the results we want to achieve. Right? Because apart from compromising the people that I just mentioned, you know that some of these people, once they see the thing as a matter of survival, some of them even go to the extent of killing. If you want to stop them from these galamsey sites, sometimes they fight back. They threaten DCs. They threaten regional ministers. They threaten police commanders. And all of that. And you see, not many people would want to sacrifice their personal lives for the rest of the country. So once people are threatened in a certain manner, whether you like it or not, some of them, they will recoil. And these threats are real. It's not like it's something that we are cooking up. They are real. When you encounter some of these people and you talk about these things, especially concerning the threats of galamsey, they tell you for a fact that when they want to stand up to put up a fight, sometimes they are threatened, especially when their compromises don't work. Some of these people, you cannot compromise them. But as for threats, we are talking about life here. Right? So for me, we should look at it in different ways. What are we doing to ensure that the devil doesn't find work for the idle hands? The issue of unemployment in this country is still very high. People are genuinely interested in jobs. We know of first degree holders. We know of trained teachers. We know of professional trained nurses and all of those other people who find themselves on these galamsey sites. But somebody, he struggles to go through school. After completion, he goes to do a 3-4 year course. And if you check their backgrounds, some of them struggle. They are not talking about the food they will eat on campus. They are talking about how to pay their school fees, how to get books and handouts. Their parents sell livestock. They sell family properties. They take some of these people through school and they sit at home. You go to our hospitals, we say that the student age, the patient to nurse ratio is not encouraging. We have not reached the point. And yet, we have a backlog of nurses sitting at home, not being posted. A backlog of teachers at home. You go to villages, you have 1 or 2 teachers to a whole primary school. And there are teachers roaming about. We cannot push them to go to these schools. There are nurses roaming about. We cannot push them to rural clinics. But they have to eat and support their families because their family invested in them.
Is that a good enough justification? So, for example, can I say because I am hungry, I'll go and steal?
That's what I'm saying. I am saying that right now we are saying that it is the government's responsibility to fight the galamsey. And I'm saying that the combat approach to fighting galamsey cannot give us the results we want. And I'm trying to analyze some of the reasons why some of the hands we find on the galamsey sites. Because if we open up opportunities, because these are people who genuinely would not, as it were, endanger their lives on galamsey sites. Go and see the kind of things they do. So if there are alternatives, not most of them would want to go to these sites. And so their campaigns may not even find hands to use on these galamsey sites. Right? And so if we adopt all of these approaches and ensure that our youth are adequately cushioned in terms of employment and job opportunities, we will go in somewhere in as far as the fight against galamsey is concerned. Right? And so for me, the forth and back of who is doing well, who has not done well, or all of that, no, that should not be the conversation. We must admit that for far too long we sat down and allowed the issue of galamsey to fester. When it started, we didn't see it as a problem. And so it has become endemic. And once we start now to fight the process, a process that has gone on for long, it will not just take us 1 day. It's not going to take us a year. It's not going to take us 2 years to be able to achieve the results we want to achieve. And what is the result? We want to save our water bodies and preserve our forest reserves. Right? It is a process because the galamsey site is just not one site that you would go to. It cuts across regions. It cuts across districts and all of that. Right? And so once we are doing the fight, we must admit that we are beginning from somewhere and it's a process until we get to the destination we want to get to. But I'm saying that government and all other stakeholders ought to look at all of these other alternative ways by which we can tackle the menace of galamsey.
Well, you listening to us can also share your thoughts and views very strongly on these matters. 0500,000 202, 0500,000 202. Would love to hear from you on these matters as well. Let's move on to other issues. A lot of corruption-related, alleged corruption-related issues in there. I'll go back to Mr. Okoko on this one. We want to probably tie those two together. They're both with the Yoko and OSP conversations concerning the AXA bribe. Yesterday, I listened to Dr. Anyine. I've also listened to a few lawyers with respect to these issues. This is something that happened under Mahama 1. 2014, 2015, thereabouts. The names that have been mentioned, at least those who have come out publicly to speak, they say they are not involved. Some are even telling us they didn't even travel. Some are also saying they haven't also collected any money. What we know, even if you've not been to America before, is that their FBI and their CIA, I'm not in any way saying that they can't make mistakes, but they don't do shoddy work when it comes to investigations. They won't put out information like this when they are not certain, when they are not sure. Interestingly, in the report that has been running around in the last 2 weeks, they didn't even mention anybody's name, but they mentioned positions. So, for example, let's say the class prefect of Mr. Koku's primary school in 1965. Yeah, so and so. Everybody knows. So if I mention the class prefect for that year, everybody knows it was Kojo Poku. Something like that. That is what they did in that report that they put out there. There have been calls to get the OSP involved. The Attorney General says, I mean, this is something we can manage. But then again, you hear members of the opposition also say this. You, that same individual, at that time, you were the Deputy Attorney General. You hear them saying that under your watch, a lot of officials of your side of the political divide have been literally cleared. So we can't trust you leading that particular office now as the substantive Attorney General to be able to deal with these matters. Mr. Koko, I want to get your take on this.
See, in our fight against corruption, as a nation, we've created a lot of institutions to help us fight corruption. So
You'd have to speak up a bit for me, please.
So you realize that when it comes to corruption allegations, then we are torn in between these institutions.
Because you politicize it.
Not that because we politicize it.
Class 91.3 FM.
To take up the issue.
But when we set up the offices, we knew what everybody was going to do.
We knew but all of them are fighting corruption.
But we know the specific case that your office can handle.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And if you look at it, OSP came in. OSP has let me say, a hand in almost everything so far as corruption. UOCO has also been set up to fight corruption or to investigate organized crime and all those things. And if you look at the nature of these ASA case, you could see some organized nature of crime also within. So that's why some of us have been saying that, if we really meant well to fight corruption, we should rather get one body. You mentioned the FBI. In America, where you go and they are fighting corruption, there's a case of corruption. Everybody that says FBI that will come forward. And they will do the investigation and come out with their report. You understand me? Are we saying that the FBI, they don't have all those units there, those that deals with organized crimes, those that deals with money laundering, and those who deals with stealing public money and all those things? They have. And they have not created separate institutions for them. So when they are working, they work as one unit. And they come out with their reports. And normally when their reports comes out, it's difficult for somebody to punch holes in their reports. Can't we do same here? Rather than giving
Class 91.3 FM.
They say, oh, this one is about money laundering. I don't have the mandate, so I'm giving it to somebody else. And that's the end of the case. So corruption is something that is eating into our national structure, and it is creating a lot of problem for all of us. So the fight against it should not be fought on partisan lines. If we do that, we will not achieve the results. And that's why I always say that when somebody is mentioned or is alleged to be involved in corruption, we should deal with that person as a person. But what do? We always want to link that person to his political party. So at the end of the day, the party will also have to come out and defend themselves. So why don't we deal with that person?
Class
That person who
91.3
has been
FM.
alleged to be involved in that. And let's deal with it and allow the state institutions to do their own work. Rather than coming to support whoever, Under His Excellency John Robert Mame first step, there were a lot of allegations against some of his appointees. You understand me? There were a lot. You understand? You see, so if now some reports are coming out, can't we take it up as a nation and do further investigations? Although, yes, the report didn't mention anybody's name, but if you said that the deputy minister and
At that time, everybody knows who the person
you've
was.
given a date. Can't we get to
We
that?
used
We
to
know.
add information to
Yes,
trace the
we know.
person.
So unless maybe we want to say that that report is completely bogus. There's no evidence. There's nothing. They were just speculating, or they were just making something out themselves. Unless we want to say that. But if that we should be able, so that people know that anytime they are given public positions to manage, there will be a day that they have to give an account. Yes, we should make this thing very clear. Last I was telling people that you see, when we talk of democracy, democracy has four main arms. You understand me? The law aspect of democracy, the power aspect of democracy. You understand me? Then we have the accountability aspect of democracy. So if we don't allow all these areas, okay, to function very well, then it is not democracy.
Class 91.3
Yes, you will be appointed, all right. When you are appointed and you are given the position, you are the only person taking decisions in that position. And whatever decision you take, and it doesn't go well for the state, you should be able to give an account to all of us. At times, the court may accept your explanation. There are times that the court may not accept your explanation, and they will make you pay the consequences. That is the way democracy works. So we should stop those things that, we are infringing. Yes, democracy, there is a right in it. There is accountability, there is law, there is power. These four goes together in every democracy. So when somebody is arrested or is called to come and give an account, then some says, his right is being infringed upon. Who told you that democracy, people's rights are absolute? Who told you that?
Class 91.
So we should be able to say that this is, and the political parties should just take themselves out of this way. Because it's an individual we are dealing with. And let's deal with that individual. I'm an NDC person. If I get myself caught up in any allegation of corruption, I am the one. I don't expect that any party person should come in saying that it's coming. Because were you there when I'm taking those decisions? I was acting in that thing. Allow me to face it. If I believe that I've not done anything, I should be able to explain myself, and the court will accept it. So let's begin to look at all those things and then stop doing. Yes, the case is almost, I think, 10 years now, or even over.
It's a long time.
But I think once it has come up, it is good that we also, as a nation, we do our own investigations and know exactly the amounts that have been mentioned, where it went. Is it true that because it could also happen that on paper there they can say that they gave A this amount, they gave B this amount, but in natural sense they never. Yes,
and that leads me to, interestingly, I happened to be somewhere and this conversation came up over the weekend, and there was a very funny analogy. It was an elderly person. He posed a very direct question to all of us in that sitting. And he said, in this country, a lot of funny things happen. And he said, you will be shocked that the figures that have been mentioned, 5,000 went to this person, this went to this. You'll be shocked that the money probably was routed through person A and the money never got to B.
It's possible.
But that's on paper, the money was supposed to go to B, yes, and that is why they are using that as evidence. Yes. But the money was probably given to, because yesterday the Fourth Estate came out with a story. I don't know if you saw that. No, that some money was supposed to have gone to. They didn't mention the MP's name, but if you watch the description they gave, you can see it is this person. That the money was supposed to have ended up with. He was an MP in the Ashanti region at that time. That particular person. The money never got to that person, and apparently there was a very hot argument between that person and the person who was supposed to have handed him that money in Parliament at that time. And the people who are aware of this, the money never got to that person. Now that person's name has been cited in this report. Meanwhile, he never got the money.
Yeah, so that's why investigation is always very important. You understand me? The Americans have done their part. It's left to us also to do our part. How was the money transmitted?
Okay,
yes. And who received it first? Who does the distribution.
Class
We should look at all
91.3
those things
FM.
and be clear in our minds so that you see some of these things. So the investigations, I always say that it's not to punish per se. It helps you to understand the system you are operating, understand the loopholes within the system. So when you do a thorough investigation, at the end of the day, you know that hey, we say we have this law, but this is how people are going about their issues. What can we do to strengthen it so that in future we will not have those occurrences? You understand me? So that is me. I pay more attention to that aspect of investigation than the punishment that is meted out, because that ensures that going into the future, such a mistake will not be repeated. But if we only concentrate on punishing the person and you punish the person, then we all go to sleep, definitely we can have recurrences of such behaviors. And I think that is what is killing us as a nation in the fight against corruption. Investigations, we should always insist that the proper investigations are done. It's not about the punishment per se. For us to know how the system is operating, what can we do to change some of the things that people capitalize on to perpetuate corrupt practices? We should be able to tell all those things. So, yes, this thing happened long time ago, but it has come up. How do we investigate it? Let's do it. Because if we want to know the people who travel, it should be easy for us.
There's a manifest on every flight.
Yes. It's a state that even buys the ticket. We should be able to tell that the group that traveled
Class
on this issue
91.3
are
FM.
A, B, C, D. When we are done with that, the transfer, how was it done? We should be able to track it. Is it somebody traveling into the country who brought the money, or it was wired through the various electronic transfers that we have? Let's know. Let's get proper understanding of the whole thing. And that's why some of us are saying that at least they should get some special body to investigate these things for us. Even if we intend not to punish, let's know what actually happened.
Ishak, does this also raise questions about dealing with problems in this country and how people also appear to take advantage of the problems to profit themselves? This was at the time where we had issues with power. And this was something that even cost the former power minister his job, Dr. Kwame Dwomoh-Agyemang, at the time, because he had come out publicly to say that if he was not in a position to solve, he would go. And he did go. We were facing a crisis. We were trying to deal with the crisis. And it appears that people were profiteering from our crisis. What kind of country is this?
As sad as it is, we ought to confront it. Kwame, I think that the politicization of crime in this country is the biggest bane of the nation. And I've come to a certain conclusion, and I propagate it everywhere I go. I say that if we look at the way we tout our democratic credentials, especially in the Fourth Republic, I say that Ghana is overrated. We overrate our democracy because crime is one thing that must never be politicized. But we are at a point where everybody, especially even people who are not politicians, even businessmen, when they are caught in the web, right, on issues of corruption, they try to, as it were, lean towards political parties in order to, as it were, gain some kind of sympathy to be able to get their way out of it. But I keep saying that, look, crime is crime, especially economic crimes. We cannot sit in this studio to discuss at length the consequential effects of corruption. But those monies always mentioned, right? we know the alternative uses for which those monies that are always lost could have been used. And it affects all of us. But me sitting here, I'm a village boy that has found my way by grace to Accra. If you go back to my village, if you go to my village primary school, probably they go and ease themselves in the bush. Right? They have a school feeding program. They eat in the open. And all of those other things. They are predominantly farmers who have no access to fertilizers. And they are supposed to contribute to food production in this country. And so, when these issues come up, I cringe when I see political parties and politicians and youth take it upon themselves to defend these things or to support it the other way around. And in a true democracy, these things should not be happening. Just like a honorable said, rights in a democracy are not absolute. That's why we have laws. Once you fall foul of the law, you have vitiated your rights. Once you fall foul of a particular law, you cannot be talking about rights again. Your rights are vitiated. Because we were not expected to do this, and you went and you did it. But most often than not, these are the things that we keep grappling with. Because, like you indicated, we all know and we all experienced what the power crisis was doing to us as individuals and as a country back then. And the kind of things people said. And so if an opportunity came for people to ameliorate the situation by virtue of the position in which they found themselves, and several years down the line, it is proven that these people allegedly used the opportunity to profiteer or to benefit personally. How can sane citizens, people who think, get up and be supporting or be defending such people? Even though we keep using the word allegedly, I don't expect to see people coming out to defend such. Of course, as for the people who are being pointed to, they have the right to either admit or to say they are not involved. That is, as for in issues of crime and all of that, we see this every day. We see people go to court, they disagree with the charge sheet. At the end of the day, they find themselves in prison. And so the fact that somebody has come out to say that what they are saying is not true, I cannot be that cheap, I cannot sell my country for peanuts, and all of those things, it shouldn't be music to our ears. We should be a very conscious country, and we should be citizens who understand what it is, to understand that these things would be said. But until we get to the end of it, we will not be able to say to agree or not to agree with what those being accused of that particular crime are saying now. Right? And so for me, like I keep saying, let us not overrate our democracy. Let us allow the democracy to work. And that is why I also think that we are creating a lot of bureaucratic institutions in the name of democracy. And these are institutions that come back to haunt us because they fail to have that synergy. They fail to have that harmony to be able to work together to achieve the overriding interest for which they probably were all created. Because whether OSP or IOCO or Attorney General or whatever, the most important single objective of all of them is the fight against crime or corruption for that matter. Right? But if they appear to be falling over each other in an attempt, not because they want to achieve that particular result, but because they want to, as it were, gain popularity, in my opinion, because there's a job to be done. This particular institution is in charge of it. I will support them to achieve it. But I would not want, as it were, to be given that applause for being the one leading the charge. At the end of the day, it is not about what you do, it's about the contribution you make. Right? So I feel appalled by this seeming rivalry between the OSP and the UCO, especially on this matter. We have seen the OSP already issue a statement and say that they were already collaborating with the FBI on this matter. Right? Where was the UCO at the time? If it is true that OSP was collaborating, and OSP collaborated because Martin Amidu himself admitted to it, the first ever OSP, he admitted to it that during his tenure as OSP, he was even collaborating with the US agencies on this particular matter. And so, if the US agencies come to the conclusion of the matter, are we saying that we can downplay the contributions of the OSP, or it is not entirely true that they were already collaborating with the OSP? So, to that particular extent, you would expect the IOCO to also collaborate with OSP on the matter, so that we arrive at the logical conclusion which we might want to arrive at as a nation, which would be to bring clarity to the matter, for everybody to see who is guilty, who is not guilty, and to understand what actually happened. Because they claim that the country might have lost already about $600 million through that particular deal. And people are telling that it was in a situation of emergency. That's why they went in for that particular deal. But they are saying that we could have gotten that particular power badge for about 100 million, 150 million. We got it for 700 million. And that is clearly, it amounts to causing financial loss.
Because
imagine what
go about this deal in the interest of Ghana.
Yes.
Went in there in the interest of himself.
Exactly. So clearly, all of the investigations that we have to do would have to unravel these things for us to see where the chips may fall and what decisions ought to be taken. But we are now engaged in the rivalry, seeming rivalry between the OSP and the IOCO, when the substantive matter is still pending and staring all of us in the faces. I feel sad about these things.
Is it not a case, Makoko? I'll get you to this one before we move on to our next topic. Is it not a case of the power of the politician in cases like this? The OSP, yeah, maybe an independent body, independent unit, and all of that. UCO, independent body, independent units. But the head of UCO is appointed by the president. The last time I checked. The attorney general is appointed by the president. The last time I checked. There should be a way, like Ishak said, a certain synergy or a certain kind of coordination. How is it that an issue has come and now there's uncertainty about which one is in the position to, instead of dealing with a substantive matter of whether there was corruption and how it has affected us and how people should be brought to book?
That's my earlier submission. That once you have these fragmented institutions all aiming to fight corruption, that is what you have. So as a nation, why can't we bring all these institutions under one umbrella? Let's get leadership there that is not politically appointed. Can't we do that? So that because when you go to the FBI can even investigate sitting presidents. Yes. Clinton, when Clinton case came out, they were also involved in the investigation. when they have this economic crunch, the FBI were the ones who did their work. So as a nation, if we really want to fight it, let's get it. And as me, for instance, I don't believe in we having an attorney general appointed by the sitting government. I don't believe in that. It doesn't help in the fight against corruption in particular. It doesn't help. Why can't we have an attorney general who is separated from Ministry of Justice, so we can have the Ministry of Justice there? That can be a political.
That call has been made since. It doesn't
so,
seem
but,
to
but what
happen.
is preventing all of us?
The politician.
Are you not part of it?
I
You are also a journalist.
I don't have the power to appoint anybody.
So all of us are involved. When it comes to this kind of we should all have our mind and we separate the powers. So that if I'm in power, I know that this portion, I don't control it. And when I fall foul, the laws of this nation will deal with me as it deals with any ordinary person. If we get to that level, you realize that the people will start falling. Like if I'm in the same government with you, we go to cabinet together. You are the attorney general of the state. You understand me? And I have a very good rapport with you. If my issue can you even have the courage even to
No chance. It won't
prosecute
happen.
me?
It won't happen.
So this is some of the things. If we really want the democracy and the corruption we are talking about, my brother said so many things. If those small monies are able to be retrieved, if we are able to, the things that they can do in his hometown, the schools that they can build, the public places of convenience that they can build, the hospitals and all those things that they can use that money for. So we don't have to take corruption lightly. And at times, because these people find their way of making extra money at the expense of the state. Let me chip in this. Our attitude as Ghanaians, the way we give reverence to people who has made money without even finding out how they made the money. That we need to look at it. And it is also, the base of the corruption that we are having in this country. Because everybody feel like, hey, if this person is being given that kind of respect because he or she has money, why can't I also get myself involved in those shady things and make money? After all, who questions who gets how you make your money? In Ghana, we don't question that.
Class 91.3
So
FM.
these are things that we need to look at. And I believe that if the fight against corruption, we should do it in such a way that government hand is not in it. If we can do it that way, and we take government hands off those institutions that are mandated to investigate and prosecute corrupt practices, government doesn't have any hand in it. I think it will help. For instance, the OSP. We saw it in our attempt to do it. We said, okay, OSP, we are giving you a feast term in office, 7 years, isn't it? Then Nicodemusly, we put in something in the act to lock him. That if you want to go to court, if you have to prosecute anybody, you have to seek the consent of the Attorney General. What are we doing? So cleverly, we know what we are doing. So we just do the law, then we'll put something somewhere.
Can you imagine the OSP wants to prosecute an issue like that? And let's say the government has an interest in that particular case. And he needs the permission of the AG to do this. It won't even start.
No, he can't.
Or they would find a way of maybe frustrating the process, delaying the process.
So,
and we would go nowhere, essentially.
So we need to, that's why I'm saying that if we really want to fight it, and political parties should not see, because if you appoint somebody, you will not know whether the person has other ulterior motives to go and steal from the state. You don't know. You can't know, because you are not God. You can't read the person's mind. You understand me? So when it happens, you rather should be willing to let the person go and face the law. You relieve the person, let him go and face the law, and your political party people should not go and support that person. It's rather becoming the other way. When somebody is involved in corruption, the first thing you do is to make some political statement so that these people will come in, and we will see people on social media calling people to come in. No. It doesn't help. Doesn't help at
Kwame,
all.
Kwame, you see,
briefly on that, and then we'll move on to our final
that's
topic.
that's why I went with the narrative that our democracy is overrated. Look at all of the powers vested in the president, all of the appointments that the president makes. And then there is an avalanche of calls for us to make the position of DCE, MCE elective. And no president wants that.
They know why.
Why? All of the people you appoint have all that power, but relinquish the power of appointment for DCEs. Allow the local people to vote and elect their DCEs. Because a president does not have control over an MP. No. Presidents, they don't have control over members of parliament.
Maybe they can whip you in line if you belong to their side of the
But they don't have control over you. So would it be if our MCs and DCs were also elected? But the president doesn't want to relinquish that power. He says that I should appoint 5 people to go through some interview processes, and then out of the 5, then we'll present 3 for you to vote for.
If you are not from a side of the divide,
Why? How
how
will he appoint you? So at the end of the day, just like Mr. Akwako indicated, with this backdoor approach to the office of the special prosecutor, it's going to be the same thing, because you will see it ordinarily as somebody who was elected or voted for, but who recommended him for voting. Because even now, when the president elects or the president appoints a DCE, he goes to the local assembly. He has to be approved.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, who appointed him?
The president, of course.
It's the president. So until we get some of these things right, and we agree that our democracy must evolve and be in tandem with the changing times in which we find ourselves as a people, some of these things, just like the fight against corruption at the local level, would always suffer a jolt like we are experiencing.
Okay, let me take some messages and then we'll go to our final topic on gold board issues. Kwame, politicians are playing with our minds. These Galamsey activities are done on our lands here in Ghana, not in Burkina. And we say we can't arrest them. Wish my sister Yaira Shaman of Stanbic Bank a happy birthday for me as well. I call in Dansuman, you send this one. Okay. This one says, hi bro, good morning to you and your guests. To me, I see democracy has corrupted our institutions in Ghana. Mula Umar, you send this from Tema. Okay. Greetings, Kwame. The president should command the military to go and fight the Galamsey to save our natural resources. Galamsey is being done by the ruling class. The president knows this, and he should wake up. Juliet in Kanswa. Juliet, you know something I don't know, because you say the president knows this. Okay. Francis says, please, have you seen the 2021-2022 forensic report on ECG? I think someone was asking me that yesterday, if I recall. Kwame, you need to look for that document. You will cry for Mother Ghana. Yeah, someone sent in a message yesterday on that. Maybe I'll look out for that. Forensic is audit of ECG in 2021.
It's rotten.
Someone sent me that message yesterday and asked me to go and look for it. So I'll go and look for it. I'm sure it shouldn't be too difficult to find from the Auditor General's report. It should be hiding somewhere in there. So I'll go look for it. Maybe there's something in there that you want me to see. I'll go. That's for our state-owned agencies. If we say we're going to be going into the work that some of them do, I said it here the other day, and I got a lot of funny comments. The companies that they are not doing well, the ones we have hired, putting a CEO, sometimes 2 deputies and a board, they have performed poorly. And then at the end of the year, they'll do party. I have never understood that thing. Like, they are in red. But at the end of the year, they'll do end of year party and be giving awards to themselves. I don't know what they are awarding or who they are awarding. But, well, these things happen here. Let me move on to my final topic. And it looks like, sadly, it's becoming a personality thing rather than dealing with the issue. So, in the last few days, the Honorable Minority leader, the Apenyomaking, has says that gold board is a disaster waiting to happen. In the last 24 hours, Sami Jemfi, CEO of Gold Board, has responded in a Facebook wall yesterday, and I'm going to be quoting certain portions, which I believe would help with our conversations. Quote, the blatant lie being persistently peddled by Apenyomaking that the Gold Board has made losses is only a figment of his hallucinatory imagination. What a joke of a minority leader. Very strong words there. He further pointed to the audited financial statements as evidence to counter the minority leader's position, stressing that the figures were contained in the official report. Quote, for the avoidance of doubt, this audit report was prepared and published by the Auditor General of the Republic of Ghana. Facts are sacrosanct. And this has been going back and forth. Whether Gold Board as an organization is making losses, whether Gold Board as an organization is making profits. I recall must be early this year when there was a report of a $240 million loss. The organization came out to say that was not the case, and then questions were raised about whether Gold Board was suggesting that IMF or the officials of the IMF were lying at the time. And the arguments went back and forth. In the last few weeks as well, the Honorable Apenyomaking has been on that tangent that it is only a disaster waiting to happen. The organization is not what people think it is. It is actually in red, but it appears that a thing or two that they are doing is covering all of their activities. Ishak, I'll start this one with you. We know why Gold Board was set up. We used to have PMMC. It was a very small organization around the Accra Central area there. It metamorphosed into Gold Board. It's become a structured, if we can argue that we're a structured, more organized organization whose paperwork can be followed more rigorously, can be checked. We know what exactly they are contributing to the to the economy and all of that. What is, if I may what is the issue here? What exactly is the issue here?
Kwame, I haven't listened to a number of analysts on this matter, and haven't visited the Gold Board website itself, and haven't perused the Auditor General's report on the activities of the Gold Board for the financial year ending 2025. I am tempted to agree that the Honorable Apenyomaking is increasingly becoming a joke of
That's very strong.
A minority leader. Because we have an Auditor General's Department set up by law, and the reports of the Auditor General are scrutinized by Parliament through its what's the name of the committee every year. Now, if there is any appointee in government that ought to be applauded highly, I think that it ought to be that young man called Sami Jemfi.
Because of what?
And if there is any particular intervention that the NDC and John Mahama got right,
1.3 FM.
and which appears to be on the right tangent, bringing in the dividends that we need as a nation, it is the Gold Board. I think as for this one, they dreamed it, they thought of it, and they have implemented it very well. Now, you talked about the PMMC. If you juxtapose the activities of the PMMC before the coming into office of the Gold Board, remember the Gold Board Act was passed somewhere in April 2025. So the Gold Board is at least about a year and then some 5 months old. But the kind of contributions that the Gold Board is making to the fortunes of this country, especially in the extractive industry, is very enormous.
91.3 FM.
And if anything at all, we must be patting the gold board on its back. And then, as it were, be complimenting Sami Gyamfi's efforts. Because when this particular matter came up, he has taken his time on various platforms to explain how that particular laws came about. But you see, if you followed Sami Gyamfi as communications officer of the NDC in opposition, he was the albatross around the neck of the NPP. This was somebody who did his research, got his facts right, and continued to expose the NPP almost all the time. And so the NPP appears not to want to forgive Sami Gyamfi because they think that Sami Gyamfi is the reason for which the party went into opposition. But it was not Sami Gyamfi, because Sami Gyamfi did not ask the NDC, the NPP then in government, to try to build a national cathedral, which became a disaster. Right? But they think that this is an opportunity for them to go at him. So no matter what, they would always attack Sami Gyamfi in the gold board. Otherwise,
I think this is more of a personal thing.
Too personal. That's why I started off by saying that I would agree that Afenyo Markin is taking this particular issue very personal and he's becoming a joke of a minority leader. Because we are being told by experts. In fact, I listened to one Prof. Jackson or so on one other radio station just last week, just on Saturday. And he enumerated the contributions of the gold board to Ghana's economy in the past 1 year. Right? He says that the gold board added 40 tons of gold to our reserves. 40 tons of gold in 1 year to our reserves. And the gold board, through its activities, helped to stabilize the Ghanaian currency to the extent that it was able, the stable exchange rates contributed to decreasing our debt to GDP ratio from 68% to 45%. And in the process, the country saved in excess of 7 billion Ghana cedis. Right? So if you have an entity that comes in and is able to achieve these kind of things, contributing to a decrease in inflation, and then all we do is to sit back and try to find ways of attacking a young man like Sami Gyamfi, who is steering the affairs of the gold board. You cannot but agree that it is becoming a personal fight. Because this is the gold board whose accounts have been audited by the Auditor General. You made reference to Sami's Facebook page. I'm sure you saw the accounts he posted there. He posted the accounts from the Auditor General's a report on his Facebook page. It was showing a surplus, not a loss, because the explanations being given by that professor, once again, that Professor Texan, I listened to him well. He said when the government introduced the domestic gold purchase program under the NPP, championed by Sami Gyamfi, championed by the then Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Sami Gyamfi made reference to Bawumia and said we should be gracious to the Vice President for having championed that program. Now, but it was poorly implemented because they implemented the program in such a way that they were buying the gold, right? They were buying the gold at a rate on behalf of the Bank of Ghana. When they buy that gold and they give it to the Bank of Ghana, there was a transactional rate difference. And that difference in the rates at which they will sell it to the Bank of Ghana and the Bank of Ghana would in turn sell it was what was creating the losses. So the losses were not coming to the gold board. The losses were the transactional losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana in the process of selling the gold that was being given to them by the gold board. And so if this explanation does not sit well with anybody, and you think that at all costs, you must, as it were, hang those losses on the neck of the gold board, because a lot of people are praising the gold board and its CEO for what it's been able to do in this past 1.5 years. I don't know what else we will call it, apart from saying it's a personal fight.
Let me get the thoughts of Mr. Kwoko on this one, and then we would wrap up.
Kwame, this issue, I don't see the head and the tail of it. I feel like the minority are just making noise.
You think so?
Yeah. They are just making noise. There's absolutely nothing. And they've not been able to prove anything. Relying on
1.3 FM.
IMF report. And if you read the report, nowhere in the report IMF said that Gold Board has made a loss. They never said that. So I don't know where this thing is coming from. I have read the report over and over again. They have never said that the Gold Board has made a loss of $214 million as at September. They have never said that. So is the MPP that they are forcing themselves to make the whole thing look as if some losses have been incurred? No, it is not true. What we know, per the audited accounts, shows that Gold Board rather made an overall surplus of 5.44 billion Ghana cedis.
That's what Mr. Jemfi has posted on his Facebook.
Yes.
From the
a surplus. So
General.
this is an institution that was set up not to make profit.
It's 5,443,990,000
billion Ghana cedis.
347 cedis.
Yes, that is the surplus they reported. And this is an institution that was set up not to make profit, but they can declare surpluses, and that's exactly what they have done. The man has worked so hard. If you look at their expenditure, total expenditure for that year, somebody who is making surplus of 5.4, and all that they spent was 109.54 million Ghana cedis to make a surplus of 5.44, and you are saying that they have incurred losses. It doesn't make sense. Unless what they are saying that maybe they want to tell us that the Auditor General,
maybe the figures are not correct.
The figures are not correct. If that is what they want to say, then they should come out. Because I don't see. So when you are talking to people who have made up their mind that they don't want to listen, it's difficult. And that is what is happening. So the explanation that we are giving, we are telling them where the losses even are coming from, why the losses, they are not listening. They've already made up their mind that this is what we want to do. And no wonder that somebody who wants to be a general secretary in their party is saying that they should go with propaganda. Sylvester Mason. Sly. Sylvester Tete. Sylvester Tete. Is that they should go?
That's your former MP.
Yeah. They should go and lie about this thing, because that's what they always have to set the agenda. This agenda is not working because Ghanaians are enlightened. Ghanaians know the truth. So they should spare us. They should bring us something more, because when you are in opposition, you give alternative ideas, alternative routes where you want the state to be. You make this argument. That is what we will follow and discuss with you. But when you come and make this kind of infant analysis and all those things, we will not follow you. It's just a waste of time. I have decided that this issue, I will not waste my time talking about it again, because there is absolutely nothing in it. There's absolutely nothing in it. Gold Board is rather doing very well. And for every situation, for every problem you want to solve, there is a cost-benefit analysis that you have to do. What was our state? What was the state of the economy before Gold Board came on board?
And what is the state now?
And what is the state now? why the gold board was set up. Have we been able to achieve it? Yes, I can say that. Because now every gold that is being produced in this country by the small scale miners is all being accounted for.
Either land for me. Yeah.
Yes, either to they export the gold, we don't see the proceeds. It is on paper that we have exported so much, but the money doesn't come in to support our economy. Now everything comes in to support us. And no wonder that our currency has been very, very stable. When you talk to the traders who do the import, they will tell you that, oh, now things are, because they know that, oh, it will not go beyond 12 and it will not go below 10. You know, so they can now plan properly. And you don't want this and you are just making noise at parliament.
Okay, let me wrap up with some birthday messages. Just a second.
Sami, but for the propaganda, Sami Jenfi threw a challenge. He says, call me to parliament. I would come and explain to you why we are in the position in which we are, for you to stop us we are hanging losses on our necks. They don't want to call the guy to parliament, and they get up, sit on radio, go to TV, and they just talk about the gold board.
Okay, happy birthday to an incredibly loving, supportive, and beautiful wife, Edna Afoko Saka. You are the kind of woman whose love brings comfort, whose presence brings peace, and whose support makes even the difficult days feel lighter. Thank you for always being there, for believing, caring, encouraging, and loving so deeply. And this one is coming from your lovely husband, Emmanuel Adote Saka, who goes on to add, may this year of your life bring you the same joy, warmth, and happiness so you freely give to everyone around you. You deserve to be celebrated today and always. Happy birthday, my dear. Okay, this one also says, please wish MFA Ago a happy birthday from Jemima. Okay, MFA knows herself, so I'm sure she knows. Oh, Davi, I read a message a long time ago. Good morning, Kwame. I'll read it again. You remember what I said yesterday? Our chiefs who distill sub-chiefs over sale of stool lands should step up to the plate and join in the fight against Galamsey. Okay, so I've read it a second time. Well, on that note, I draw the curtains on today's edition of the show. But today is the birthday of Kidi. Yes, Ghanaian musical artist Kidi. He's celebrating his birthday today. He was born on this day a couple of years ago. He's celebrating birthday number 33 today. So I would want to wrap up with this from Kidi. God willing,